Just had to quickly restart the stream. Just gonna get everyone aware that the stream has indeed restarted. Nice, 14 people in. Very good to see. How is everyone doing? Feel free to pop a message in the chat. There is a delay on here, so there is a 30-second delay, so just be wary. Just getting these maps vetoed out. We're going to get started very soon indeed. Right, here we go. Into Yellow Jacket. Just getting this lobby sorted. Oscar is back. Just need to get Oscar in. There we go.
I will walk my dog for a minute and get him
no
out.
problem.
I'll
Cool.
join the stream a little bit later than start, but I'll see you in a minute or two.
Cool. Seriously, not say piss on stream, thank you.
Hello.
Hello, system.
Can I join?
Yes.
Can I get a invite?
Yeah, I'm just inviting you now. There we go.
First game or second game?
This is the first game of the series, so it's 0-0. I figured out how to change the scores at the bottom, so you can see this is a best of. I believe this is a best of 5, yes? Best of 5, you can keep the scores updated. Learning as we're going.
Semi-finals, yes.
Yeah, it is indeed blue or red. Okay, back onto Yellow Jacket. Right, let's get the show on the road. In the top right hand corner, playing with the purple Terran pieces, we have Killer and his teammate in the reds with the Zerg. Goes by the name of Lucilium, or commonly known as Darkencade, or Dankenkandananda, or whatever variation you want to say. Does accidentally pull his drones off. Yeah, Darkenkandananda is his name. Does accidentally pull his drones off. I'll be sure to flame him later.
Yeah, I saw that.
And in the bottom left hand corner, playing with the yellow Brutos, we have Necron, in game referred to as Strulaf, and the orange Terran player looking for what seems to be like a double gas opener. It is Winter, the Russian man.
Do you go charge all in with 2 gases?
You can if he. So this looks like he's opening up the 2 gate. But it's 2 gate.
I think he took a fast expansion.
It works, but in PvP, so for example, if you do a charge all in PvP, which can be quite strong, generally you want to do that 2 gate. Yes, your base is a bit you know, basically a bit later. But you're also a little bit safer against that early game aggression as well.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do anything aggression because we have double gas from Talon
Yeah.
factory. It feels very normal.
Potentially going to see a 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion build from Winter here. Something that he likes to go for on the ladder, especially against Protoss, but he did pull it out against well, EU earlier system and also Raki as well in the matchup, which was also Terran Zerg. So very likely we're going to see Reactor on the barracks. Yeah, there we go. 2 Reaper, 3 Hellion. Looks like that's going to come up. So this factory's going to finish. We'll see a Hellion. We'll see another Hellion. This Reactor's going to finish, and we'll see those 2 Reapers coming up.
This is a DT. He has a probe going north.
Twilight.
Necron.
It could be Proxy Dark Shrine, potentially.
Yeah.
Twilight Council is available. He is also... no, pardon. He is also making double adept, which is... Oh, maybe Glaives.
Glaives, I think.
Yeah, I reckon Glaives will be coming. Does need a robo with this if he really wants this to hit like a train. Reason why is so you can get that warp prism out. Overlord doesn't quite catch the pylon. He's gonna bait him.
Add-on's done.
Pylon goes unscouted. The pylon.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
He sees the probe, doesn't see the pylon just yet.
Nothing wrong here.
Yeah, nothing to see here. Oh, sees the probe. Doesn't quite see the proxy gateway though. Killer spots the probe.
Oh yeah.
Looks like Killer's Reaper is eventually going to catch this. Yeah, okay. He does eventually. He is on the path to catch what's good. Doesn't quite see it. There we go. The Ling does catch a glimpse of this proxy gateway. Proxy not quite going how he wants. Necron's Adept's getting a little bit stuck. Glaives is about just over halfway done. Quite a quick upgrade, Glaives is there, so it should be finished in time.
He's gonna be supply block.
Cancel the gateway, doesn't even get the cancel on the gateway, that's not ideal.
Ooh, maybe you can repile it.
Could do. That's a shout, actually. The problem we got is that Necron's he's one base, so he needs to do a lot of damage here. Spine Crawlers are in position. Glaive's not quite done yet, which is actually quite massive. Shades into the siege tank.
There we go, Glaives.
Liberator, what's the Liberator targeting? Targets the siege tank. The siege tank's gone down. Viking takes down the Liberator. Glaives is finished here. Important thing to remember though is that our Terran and our Protoss, they're both on one base. So it really does need a little bit more damage than this to get things going. It would be nice to see these Hellions and potentially 2 of these Reapers make their way towards the Terran's natural before he can get those mules out, potentially get more SCVs. Gets those Adepts into the main, it gets that shade in. That's going to be huge. Glaives is really strong on those Adepts. Roche Warren going down from our Zerg player. Looks like our Reapers and Hellions will break into the into the main base. Adepts are going to go down. It's very difficult to say. Both teams. So Lucidium and Killer are ahead of Walkers. It's a really fascinating game. I'm speechless.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. It's a really nice build.
It feels like a 2v2 build here.
Yeah, you can tell they've been practicing. I honestly think this game might be over.
Yeah.
I think game 1 is over. Yeah, GG. There
Hey,
we go.
GG. Well done.
That's 1-0 to Winter and Duradev. And they're interesting because Lucidium is quite a formidable Zerg as well. You know, he's beat at 4.5. Does like to bounce up and down here and there, but is a really strong Zerg player.
When he's really putting his effort into it, he can challenge even the likes of Killer's Protoss. So he's really able to punch above his MMR range.
Yeah, for sure.
Because Lurker's Ember, right? Lurker is
Lurkers are Ember.
yeah, just just for context, Killer is low GM High Master 1 Protoss player.
Also invite me, because I'm not in the party.
Yes, yes, of course.
But that was also from like denying the pylon, which is crazy, which made him also supply block.
Yeah, that would that build is scary.
Yeah.
The Zerg player is shuddering right now.
It's so rough. Like, what do you do as Zerg? Like, you can't go to like roaches so fast.
No.
I feel.
Spines, maybe,
Yeah,
if you scout it.
Yes,
The solution would probably be scout it and then add spines and just produce queens.
Yeah.
Well, and you can never really attack
No.
at the front, so it's probably either a run by to catch reinforcement, which would probably be the most efficient, or the other option is once you have enough queens alongside with your teammate, is to attack with those kind of armies with range from the front, and then having the lings cut off their retreat path. But it's really difficult.
Yeah, I also think
build to
if
deal
the tank was on high ground, because it was on the ramp, so it was easily to get to. Also, I think,
Yeah.
if I recall it correctly.
That tank getting shot early by that Liberator was absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Massive.
It's one of those that makes it more difficult to defend into it or Lowlands, because the siege tank can't be positioned in the same way they do from a 1-1 on the high ground, because then it will only protect one area, which leaves the other friend vulnerable, which is a difficult assessment to make. One other possibility could be to add it to the high ground, make sure Killa's base is defendable, and they would be ahead even if Lucidium would be quite behind in that situation.
Right, rehost.
Yep. No WCS game heart. However, will we manage? There we go. Just waiting on Winter here.
He's watching something.
He's watching a build
Winter?
video. How to 16 Marine drop.
He's pulling up the next slide of build orders in 2v2s. Gotta read them. You gotta read through it before the game.
That's like when Necron, he was our ace player in BTL. I was like, all right. And I was like, all right, wait up. He's looking up. He's asking with his teammates how to wall on a map. I can't remember the map was. He didn't know how to wall it. He had to like, figure it out first.
Oh, to remind the audience, Killa is playing with his Terran that is about 3.8. Lucidium is about 4,000 to 4,500, depending on ladder. At the moment, he's 4-1. Winter at the moment is 3-7 with Terran. And what rank is Durolith on his main account?
3-7 on NA.
He's 3-7 on NA.
Yeah.
So the MMR gap is quite wide, but they managed to push through in the first game. So let's see how the second game unfolds.
Let's go. Bish bash bosh, off we go. On Arctic Flowers in the bottom left hand corner, playing with the red Terran pieces. Our German man is a main Protoss, but playing Terran today, it's Killer. And his teammate, the teal Zerg player, goes by the name of Lucidium. In the top right hand corner, playing with the orange Terran pieces for the second time this match, we have Winter. And with the yellow Protoss pieces, we have Necron or Jurada. let's get this score all sorted out.
Ooh.
Lucidium is started up with the one base build again, looking for a quick Speelings, potentially adding Bailing next to it to see if they wanna all in back. How many best of? Is this still a best of 3, best of 5, or best of 7?
5.
Best of 5. So they're gonna be, if it succeeds, they're gonna equalize, but otherwise they're gonna be quite in a disadvantage. And it's really unfortunate for their part that this is such a long map. So it might be really, it will give the opponents a lot of time to react for the all-in that it's looking like Lucidium is setting up with the early Speelings and the very late hatch.
Yeah, this map is quite big. It's definitely one of those ones that you're going to struggle to get an all-in over for in time. Could have just about scouts no natural from our town player, which isn't too out of the ordinary at this time. Just shows there's no Reaper expand, so it's likely going to be an add-on coming on with that barracks. And a second barracks going down. I jokingly said about a 2-1-1 60 marine drop. There we go. 3 racks. Interesting way to play the 3 racks, considering that usually 3 racks comes off of a Reaper expand. Well, a reactor first. But you almost treat that reactor, that 50 gas of the reactor, as a Reaper. Cleric will get a Reaper, but CC is on the high ground and is going to go down quite late for that 3 racks.
The hell? Overlord speed?
Oh, they're going. Lucidium is gonna do his infamous ling drop alongside the double marine drop. So let's see how it plays out. It feels like it can be quite a strong push.
Yeah.
I'm down. Overlord getting shooed away by some marines. May lose the Overlord there. Yeah, Overlord goes down. No! 1 HP! My.
We really needs that though.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy speed is on.
And
this
the speed
is
is now finished.
This is the build that they did against us. It's gonna be charge slots with a shit ton of marines. 5 racks.
If Lucidium is going for that lair check,
It's gonna be bad for them if they draw.
yes, at the moment he goes into roaches, adding 2 spore crawlers. With already delayed start on the eco, is gonna put him more behind. So it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of move they're gonna pull out to explain why he did this setup in the game.
5 rash marines coming out. Withstep and combat shield.
They're starting to set up for the push, adding a bunch of gateways, starting to warp in and preparing for that move out. Let's see if Killa and Lucidium is gonna remember to scout, in which case this could be possible to defend, but at the moment it's looking like it's gonna go out unscouted.
Well, the Lucidium went for the fast overlord, which went over all their bases, so he knows.
He knows.
He doesn't have a third base, so he's gearing up for roaches.
Oh, cool. Then he's probably gonna be prepared.
Yeah, and they get confirmation.
It's gonna hit hard.
So you see the 250 gas, which Duralev has right now. Again, I'm going to say this every single time we see this build. Please put that 100 gas into a robo and just get a warp prison.
They're actually gonna be able to attack the first 4 roaches. Let's move out. It's gonna be 4 roaches that really got caught out of position.
Pool.
That was a hatch rally.
Double Liberator from our Red Terran, by the way. Potentially going to put the 2 Liberator zones around these bunkers, potentially.
Here's where you really need to just abandon hope for Lucidium's natural base and make sure Killa is just having a full defense. They're quite behind in... They're gonna be quite behind in eco if they manage to take both, but since if you're looking at the orange Terran, he's also very behind in economy at the moment since he stopped producing. Yeah. Let's see how this turns out. Oh, the siege and getting rallied to the natural, not being allowed to siege.
Liberator's doing God's work here though, 2 kills. 8 kills on this other Liberator here.
They managed to hold it. Oh, he needs to pull back the SCVs moving out, chasing them back.
Really nice hold from these two. Yeah,
Yes.
I think if the Protoss player uses 200 of that, 100 of that 200 gas that he's got to put down a Robo, potentially uses some of those thousands of minerals on 2 extra gateways, has that warp prism across the map, I think this game definitely goes a lot different. You know, there's only 8 gateways available here. He's got a lot of minerals in the bank. Potentially could go up to 9 if he's really all in, and also have that prism available. If there's a prism on the side of the map, potentially with that first push, this looks a lot scarier and the hold becomes a lot more difficult. There's a lot of room to move into for these two as they go through the tournament, provided that they do progress. But if they are going to use this build again, specifically from the Protoss point of view, it would be really nice to see that Warp Prism and that Robo go down.
Eli is really dragging ahead with his work and having a 46 worker lead, looking to create the 3rd expansion, setting up a really good liberator zone, sending actually one on the right hand side to hopefully get some economic damage. It's quite a risky move, but it's going to be very valuable if they manage to defend this.
Chargers on top of that tank, Marines getting on top of those roaches, but the Marine damage density in the natural mineral line is absolutely huge, shreds those zealots apart. And these links from Winter look like they're going to get cleaned up by the Marines of Killer here. So this attack looks like it's fizzled out. And we might stabilise and see these bottom left players, Killer and Lucidium, get towards that 3rd base that they so desperately need at this point in the game. There we go. Stalkers, okay. Whoops in. Oh, for the Liberator. So a lot of Liberator damage on this side of the map. Didn't quite catch that. Do apologise.
1 or 2 kills. So it's not too bad. Yeah.
Excuse me. About to get a couple more. 1, 2, 3. 3 probes go down for a Liberator. Scouts the Templar Archives as well. Does it? Yes. Scouts the finished Templar Archives as well. Protoss really needs to pop down a 3rd base here, otherwise this is going to be quite a difficult game. If these tanks get sieged up, the Marines from Winter don't really do much here. They just get shredded.
Winter's so brave. It's like,
really
I can hold this, it's okay.
They're really looking for, if you can't all-in the first, if the all-in doesn't work the 1st or 2nd time, maybe it does a 3rd, and we'll see that as they are both coordinating their armies to set up a 3rd assault, seeing if that one can actually break through to siege tank, a bunch of roaches and Marines.
I think what a nice move would have been here is if the yellow and orange players decided, one of them decided to take the gold base on their side of the map, maybe try and sneak that away while they were all inning. That could have potentially been a decent idea. The tanks are just going to do work here. I mean, yeah, Marines of Winter getting shredded. Zealots need to be taking the heat. Winter's not in the way. Zealots are going down, that's all the tanking on. These tanks are going to absolutely shred through this force. It looks like this game potentially might end very soon, unless the units get out. Okay, top right hand players, Winter and Necron deciding to go back. We see that 3rd base finishing up for Necron. Again, would have been really cheeky to see, would have been really cool players to see this gold base get used. You had to contain, you had a really strong push, you could have contained, got that gold base up, potentially got a decent advantage. Just got a little bit greedy trying to attack into that natural, into his lib zones. And as a result, we see the left, we see Killer and Lucidium stabilising into this game. And being really confident, feeling confident to come across the map and stick it to the Terran and the Protoss. This is a really scary Terran army going on. There's 71 SCVs behind him. So Killer's been absolutely macroing his heart out. That base lifts up predictably. Damage density from these Marines from Winter still can't be understated, but tanks here from Killer really going to put in some work as we see this drop going towards that main base. In the meantime, go on.
I would love to see a TVT special where the siege tank are dropped on the low ground outside the main base, and while you keep elevatoring in the Terran army, while additionally having the roaches to protect for the Protoss flank on the downside. Really setting up that chokehold on the Terran's production.
Drop just about getting cleaned up, but going towards the pros base and said Marines are just chasing after that medevac. Storm just about to finish up here as well. There's a nice siege position outside the natural for Killer and Lucidium, and that drop from Killer does get cleaned up in the meantime. It would be nice to see some potentially some upgrades here for Necron. Storm's here doing God's work, but it's just too much terror and too much Zerg. Looks like this game is going to go in favour of Killer and Lucidium. GG, well played. Series ties up at 1 apiece. Fascinating game there. Interesting decisions made tactically. Turned out to be the wrong decisions for Winter and Necron, but interesting nonetheless as we pop into the third game of this series. So 1 apiece for both teams. What do you think of that game, guys? Any thoughts?
That was good. I think they could have pulled it off. I feel like Necron's the Zealots got like in a bad situation. He pulled a lot of the Zealots into like few units and didn't help Winter in some position. If it was like a little bit more split,
Yeah.
I think it would be really, really good. But the Liberator was doing so much work.
Yeah, the Liberator, especially that top one when the, like, as we last checked, was 8 kills, but I'm sure it's more than that at the end.
I very much think in these kind of scenarios as well, you managed to do great damage on one opponent that is very behind. You had 2 bases set up in home. Take your third expand for both players. Make sure to tech up defensively with either, especially in 2v2, with siege tanks and potentially missile turret just to really cover all those fronts for a doom drop in the. And just macro into a really solid late game where you are able to play sort of a 2v1 from the mid game, since Lucidium was very low on the worker count and only having 1 base, and we all know what a 1 base Zerg is able to do. And that's not a lot of, that's not very much after the 3 first minutes.
Yeah. Just getting this third game all sorted. But just waiting for Winter to do whatever he's doing, as he commonly does.
The next build order, the build order
Yep.
number 3.
Googling the build order as we speak.
Let's see, what did they do against us? Was that build? I don't know.
There's a really nice defense from that of that build though. By
Yes.
Oh, we've got sorry, I didn't notice. We've got the Sandstorm George and we've got Frost in the Twitch chat. And no idea. Got some really strong support for Killer and Lucidium. Hello, Frost. How many baguettes have you eaten today, my friend? George, how's the life going in Serbia, my friend? How's it going? Do apologise. Didn't have the stream open.
1 second. Like, all right, we're gonna cook up a build here. All right. This map is like with the gold base. I think like gold base natural is so good, but I don't know.
Nels, I'm your big fan. My name is Garog and I come from Somalia. I watched this at 0.144p. Much love.
Almost a pixel.
Nice, good. Yes, lots of baguettes. Good. Oui baguette. Got 14 people in the stream at the moment. Let's go. It's popping off, boys.
And also, if you have noticed, Nelson is a new streamer, so hit that follow button. Let's make Nelson the biggest British caster in the world.
Yeah, let's overtake Wardy. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
TLMC maps will be my tournament.
Yeah.
My tournament. Speaking of TLMC, very quickly, Killer submitted some maps to TLMC. I myself also submitted some maps from TLMC. Not sure if you guys can see the full spreadsheet, but there's a couple of our maps in there. Not in the finalists, unfortunately, but definitely still looking to try and get in those finalists in the next Cool.
And TLMC means also the map, the special map contest.
Yeah, Team Liquid map contest indeed.
Yeah.
Just gonna get this music stopping as we start up this game. So for the third match, for the third game of the match on Undercurrent LE, in the bottom left-hand corner with the purple Terran pieces, we have Killer and his teammate again.
Game
Oh,
paused.
we're just gonna get a pause very quickly. It looks like some lag potentially.
I love it when they like ask you, like, can we have a pause? It's like,
Just pause.
Just hit the pause.
You have to send it away. Yes, Somalia. I can indeed shout at Somalia. Shout out to Somalia. Shout out to all my boys from Somalia. Hope everything's going alright over there. Liquid Killer and Basilisk Lucidium. McNuggets for the win. If you know, say hi to Somalia, I will have sold my WAF for internet connection. Fascinating. Fascinating indeed. Right. Okay.
Toilet time?
I think Necron's a little bit ill. He may have some food poisoning or something along those lines.
You're the referee. I think
Yeah.
you're gonna do the countdown.
Are we good to go? Duradef is not back yet, so.
Oh,
Well, as we all know, if nature calls, you just gotta answer it.
Indeed. We've all been there. We've all been on the. We've all been on the toilet seat after some food poisoning. I think we can all say we definitely don't want to go back.
Yes, every person's dream though, if that happens, is to have the equivalency of the South Park World of Warcraft episode, where the loved and close ones bring you a party to do the business while you're middle in the a sick 2v2 tournament hosted by DeVoid.
that's what actually I was thinking about it before you mentioned it. I was like, it's like imprinted.
Not even mentioning it. I think everyone's head went to that same place.
Yeah.
Ex-alien Nelson. South Park episode. Mom. Frost, I teach you Zerg, easy race. Shopify Rebellion Oscar.
Wait, where are you guys seeing that?
It's in Twitch chat. Frost is our lovely French companion, who is indeed a pro baguette consumer. He's having a great time. Eczemus gaming system as well.
Why did I get the small team?
Oh, I apologize.
I mean, I got the team that doesn't really exist anymore, Shopify Rebellion. Which team did it get added into? They merged with, who was it?
Wait, they're still there, right?
No, Shopify Rebellion it's gonna merge or have merged with another really big team.
Oh, really? Is that new news?
I saw it on a Hearthstone stream. So. Moist Esports merges with Shopify Rebellion. So,
wow.
So, Moist Esports Oscar, I guess, is the
Moist
Current
esports. Yes, okay. Vitality Draco. Yes, good. Yes, Raki, I will indeed update the score. Thank you very much for reminding me. Thank you very much. Right, 1 apiece, and also shift, control, and 5. Best of 5. 1 apiece. Thank you very much for reminding me, Raki. Falcons Raki. Yes, Raki is part of the Saudi team Falcons. For legal reasons, he actually isn't. Just want to put that out there. Oi, Big
Legal
George.
reasons, none of us are a part of the teams that are pre-mentioned in this, except we're all part of DeVoid.
Also, Winter, get off the stream now. Use your playing, buddy. Get off the stream. Thank you very much. Necron's in the toilet. Okay, fair enough. But you better close down the stream when he comes back.
Necron is actually being quite a team player, playing through sickness and disease. Doing this even, taking one game from 2 much higher MMR ranked guys in this. So even though we make jokes, all creds to them.
Oh no, Raki, you can't be having aggression messages. I will allow this message to go through. Big Gerog. GTF. Onside. Onside Joanna. Permitted term GTF. I can indeed. I do not mind having it in there. There we go. Pretty interesting sound. Can you hear the sound in the background? Do you guys have creature sounds on again?
I do not.
So the creature in game is the same creature that you hear on the Nova Covert Ops mission, Night Terrors. It's just very distinctive noise. Almost sounds a bit like a cow. A cow mooing. Mewing. Cows don't mew, they moo. But Professor Nelson's cat does indeed mew.
I don't know, maybe they're really looking for that sick jawline as well, so they might even
mewing.
You know, the most attractive feature about the cow is the jawline.
They love mooing. In the lower bracket semi-finals, by the way, we have Shizu and Dwarf. So the loser of this series will go and play Shizu and Dwarf in the loser bracket semi-finals. And the winner of this series will progress on to the grand finals. 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Right, starting again. Purple player is Killer. Teal player is DeVoid Lucidium. Orange Terran player is Winter. And the red player in the Protoss is our own Necron, who very bravely is playing through what seems to be quite a nasty stomach bug. So we're very happy to get this series going again.
So we're actually having a little bit new gameplay with Lucidium actually going standard for the first time in this best of 5. Adding a 16 hatchery, which is quite normal.
Was this different gas timing? Because it took the pool with 15 or something? It's going a little bit earlier.
Oh, he's actually adding a faster extractor and a pool?
Yeah,
Might not even be the standard game that I was hoping for. Will it be a best of 7 of all-ins?
We're seeing 1K expand from Necron. So 1K expand. Elects to go for the pylon before the gas. Likely because he doesn't need that Twilight just as quickly, or that tech or whatever. I'm guessing it's going to be a Twilight. Usually if you're going to go for a Stargate, you go for that second gas a little bit quicker, but that second gas is super late, so likely going to see a Twilight, and by the looks of it probably going to see those chargeless again, but I may be wrong. Gonna see Adept. 1 gas definitely screams chargeless to me.
Yeah, this was the map that they did it to us also.
Yeah. 100 gas. It's the Twilight. Still not making that second gas, so we're likely going to see. Yeah, likely going to see charge when this Twilight finishes, and then we're also going to see a lot of charge loss with it. We've got a It looks like a Reaper into a Reactor into a Factory super standard build here for Killer. Looks for a Reaper expand. That CC just about to finish up. Map vision, by the way, is absolutely incredible from our bottom left hand side. Not leaving any bits to chance, making sure they try and scout all of those proxies just in case. We see now 3 barracks, likely going to see Tech Lab, and then another Tech Lab from Winter. And then later on, going to see those 2 extra barracks. Lucidium with that Overlord, getting that really valuable scout, seeing those 2 extra barracks, seeing those 2 extra Tech Labs, and seeing the amount of Marines. Seeing that there's only 1 worker on gas, no gas on the natural just yet. Lots of workers on minerals. If Lucidium only scouts the 1 gas, it's definitely going to get confirmation that this is some sort of charge-based build. Sees the Twilight as well. If he swoops in here, he's going to see those extra gateways. Yeah, there you go. Sees the third 1 gas. Sees a lot of the gateways. Yeah, pretty much confirms that we're going to be playing against some sort of Marine charge all in. As you can see, we've got 3 spines already in the natural. Duralef's not happy. Don't counter it, please. A tank from Killer already coming up. And a cloaked Banshee just for good measure. Don't count.
So many spines.
A lot of spines. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind just to see a 3rd base go down from both Winter and Duralef. Like they've forced out those spines. That's 4 drones. They've forced out the roaches. Honestly, could just chuck down a 4th base, and this would be a 3rd base each, and this could be perfectly fine. Considering Lucidium is only on 2 bases at the moment. If they chuck down that base now, it'd be very cheeky. Potentially even get this gold base here. Could even be worth it whilst these 2 players are quite scared. 3 CC from Killer though.
To also mention, they are all on equal worker base, and with this amount of army actually just being outside on the map without committing it, is gonna give a lot of map presence, which really allows them to set up for those very secure 4th bases, 3rd bases each, if they are looking for it. They have Banshee rotating to the northern side of the map, looking at the orange Protoss 3rd, the orange Terran's natural. Gonna be able to deal a lot of damage with the entire army being on the other side of the map.
As Banshee's about to make its way into the Protoss' main. No Robo available, no Stargate available, no detection. Definitely a nice...
Banshee.
Yeah, nice Banshee in the main. Really nice adjustment here from Killer. Scouting this build, having that ready, knowing that the Protoss doesn't tend to build a Robo with the charge lot build. Really nice little nuance there. No scans available either. Yeah, not quite available. So this Banshee is going to do a lot of work until it runs out of energy. Obviously Killer doesn't know there's no scans available, but can still get as much damage as possible. As the army, the natural, is getting repelled back by these 3 tanks in the high ground. I love these roaches as well. Very clean defense after getting, after scanners, by the way. Super clean defense.
Well, showing the adaptation that these 2 can make.
They're going.
From having
One goes down. One goes down.
Oh,
Doesn't seem to matter though.
It was all a bait.
Yeah, the Marines are getting absolutely. You can see the bits of the Marines flying away, and that's GG. 2-1 towards Killer and Lucidium. Excellent hold there from that build. Would like to see a bit of variety from our Terran and our Protoss going forward, because it seems like they've been figured out. It seems like Killer and Lucidium have got their number.
I like the build from Lucidium. I think he's getting the early gas just because of the Overlord speed.
Yeah, it's super helpful. Like, that scout is essentially what wins the game for them.
Yeah.
It's a really nice 2v2 adaptation that they're utilizing really well, leaning on each other's strength, as Zerg has a really easy time scouting entire bases with that OV speed that early on.
Alright.
Well, will they go for the first strategy now? With the Reaper, Hellion. Can't remember what the Protoss did. Adept. Oh yeah, Glaive Adept.
Thank you, Frost. Sorry, I did not see your message. Thank you very much for the kind words, my friend. It's the teaching. I've got the presentation skills.
And the PowerPoint. Show the PowerPoint.
The PowerPoint. I have the maths examples. The maths examples. Pringles hot sour cream. Let's go.
Now we're gonna go through a 6 pages long PowerPoint analyzing all the statistical points of this tournament.
Everyone is DeVoid except Big Nels, easy for Ents Nels. Frost and George having an absolutely brilliant time in the Twitch chat. Oh, brilliant. I will keep Twitch chat open during the game just so I can keep you guys updated with what's going on in the chat. Oh, this is such a fun event. I'm so glad I offered to cast this because this has been really fun.
Just remember where you came from when you got the 5k viewers every time you stream on Twitch yet. On Twitch.
The issue is like, you know, I'm happy to talk, but obviously I work as a teacher and in the UK, and teaching in the UK don't tend to get a lot of free time, so it'd be quite difficult for me to, you know, to commit to streaming. Definitely something to have a look at potentially, you know, as on the weekend, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Every streamer started small, doing work on the side until they hit it big.
True.
It's your future.
Potentially have a look at Stonegate.
Gonna get a new map.
Yeah, we were on Pringles hot sour cream. One can only imagine what the map maker, our own killer, who happens to be our red Terran, was eating when he was making this map. We've got Lucidium as our teal Zerg player. For the third time this match, I will update the scores in just a moment. Blue Protoss is Necron. And finally, our orange Terran goes by the name of Winter. Let's get these scores updated and let's get into the game. So 2 towards Killer and Lucidium, 1 to Winter and Jurlev. And our match is a best of 5, so we're currently on series point here. So if Killer and Lucidium do go on to win this game in the match, they will take the series overall and they will progress to the grand finals. But all in the air at the moment, seeing what's going on. Very late hatchery here from Lucidium.
Doing the same build.
Same build as before, quick overload speed.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice indeed. We're seeing a 1 gate expand here from our Protoss player with a single gas. Goes for a Nexus before core. Common against Zerg. Not so common against Terran, but can still work. I myself am a man that likes to go Nexus before core, even against Terran. So core goes down. Let's see if the second gas goes down by our Protoss player. Yeah, second gas goes down, so we're going to look more towards potentially a 3-gate blink or a Stargate. So it looks like that charge lot all in potentially isn't on the cards for us today or in this game. Does need a second pylon, however, and yeah, so the second pylon is missing unless he's proxying it somewhere. There's no probes out there. There's a second pylon.
No link speed, right? Yeah, no link speed.
Yeah, speedless. Very quick third base. 2 minutes 20. Could potentially. There's speed. What sort of things can we expect from a Zerg player that goes for a third base this quickly? Is there anything you got in mind?
Well, it's because they saw the double gas from the Protoss and command center from the Terran, so they feel like very safe to just go macro.
Yeah, just drone up.
Guessing.
Makes sense. So we have seen this map before on the stream. Very short game, but we have indeed seen this map before.
3 kills. With
3
the killer
kills from the
sweeper?
Reaper. Oosh.
Yeah. I don't know if it was
And gets out
only
alive.
workers.
A really good grenade here by Killer. Wow. Okay, you can see that GM with a Protoss micro coming out. For those of you that haven't joined us for the whole stream today, we haven't seen this map before, but for those of you who haven't seen, these ramps here that have the minerals on them, these are worker-only paths. So, as they say in the name, only workers can get through here. So, for example, Lucidium made very good use of that to get a very quick third base by putting a drone down through this worker path. There's a lot of worker-only paths. So, for example, from this third base from Lucidium, you can indeed take quite a quick fourth from this worker-only path. Another good feature of this map is a very distinct feature is that there are also bases that have mineral patches which have collapsible rocks on top of them. If you were to destroy, for example, this collapsible rock tower, if the rocks fall down onto these minerals, which I believe they do, these minerals will indeed disappear. So the minerals will disappear, and they will disappear for both players. So the minerals will no longer be in the game. So if the game does go the distance, we may see some players trying to use this to their advantage, but only time will tell. But it looks like we're settling into a little bit more of a macro game with a Oracle Stargate, standard Oracle coming out from our Pros player. The Cyclone just picking up those Overlords around, really good synergy here, making sure those Overlords can't stay on those pillars for very much longer.
Also saw a Phoenix from the Blue Protoss, so it might even be a Phoenix build to get rid of
double Stargate
air
Phoenix.
control.
Double Stargate Phoenix. This is what we've been waiting for all tournament. I thought you were going to see it a little bit earlier, but it's nice to see these Phoenixes come out. Phoenixes are great, especially in 2v2, like Oscar was saying earlier about massing the units. If you can do a lot of mass Phoenix in 2v2, gives you that map control, lets you shut down those drops, gives you that, almost gives you that, I don't know what the word would be, killing potential against those Overlords, so you can snipe away those Overlords from the Zerg player. You can clean out mineral lines quite quickly. Phoenixes are pretty tanky, so they can take hits from these spore crawlers for quite a long time as well. And you also get quite a lot of free scouting from them. If, for example, Necron is going to pop down a fleet beacon, which looks likely as he's just popped down 2 more Stargates, then to get that Phoenix range, and the transition with these 4 Stargates into, and that fleet beacon into Skytoss is really smooth. And as we know, and as a lot of us know from the ladder, Skytoss is, when it maxes out, is incredibly difficult to deal with, especially if it's combined with that Terran mech as well from Winter, which doesn't look like he's doing today. Looks like he's going into bio. But if we saw that Terran mech and that Pro Skytoss, then I would definitely not envy being a Lucidium killer.
Lucidium is currently adding Spire, which I will presume that he's gonna add the Corruptors to really help stave off the Phoenix and float around the bases. The Phoenix, due to their much higher movement speed, can still do a lot of damage on the opponents since they can outmaneuver, but it's really gonna make it more difficult to utilize them well in the engagement if they are looking for a 3-base attack killer and Lucidium.
Yeah. The Phoenixes take a long time to take down those Corruptors as well. And it's very difficult, if you've been on the Phoenix side, it's very difficult to out-micro those Corruptors whilst you're doing other stuff without Phoenix range. So what would really be nice alongside this +1 air weapons would also be a fleet beacon, would be lovely to see, and also that Phoenix range too. And a 4th base would also be nice to see.
The blue Protoss Druleth is currently floating a lot of money, so let's see if he will actually feed that into the orange Sharon, which is a thing to do in 2v2, considering you can share resources, or if he's gonna throw down a bunch of gateways and expand, or just secure the bases with mass cannons.
So really strong siege position here from Killer. If the Phoenixes can get on top and potentially lift some of these tanks, maybe able to get out of that ramp. But potentially the Phoenixes might be better off, as they are now, swiping away into those Overlords in the main.
This is also very interesting. Lucidium made that spy, but he's currently not producing a single Corruptor, but adding more roaches. So he's entrusting kill-off for the anti-Phoenix defense with the Vikings and Marines. So we can see how that goes. Lucidium is Lucidium is smashing up roaches, probably for a big timing attack to deal with the phoenixes that are utilizing their energy to lift up. But the problem with Mass Phoenix is the fact that when you have enough, energy isn't really a problem anymore for them.
Welcome,
Lucidium gonna
Namecraft. Welcome. This is the semi-final. This is the semi-final of the upper bracket. This is a best of 5.
The Lucidium is banking up a lot of resources. I don't think he knows what to get first. He's gonna go for Corruptors. He's going for Roaches.
The Phoenix are really making a dent in those that army, both forcing a stim to be pulled out. There's also a drop on Lucidium's third base, dealing a lot of damage. If we can see, even took the third base. Wow. Presume killing a lot of the drones as well. I didn't see if they pulled out.
Killer making a massive move towards the third base of our turn player here. Winter needs to send this drop into the natural, needs to go. There's roaches in position, but the cyclone's going to picks up the tanks. It's just too much turn, too much surge on the third base of Winter. Phoenixes are lifting up,
Much lift up.
but cannot shoot when they're lifting up.
4 carriers are in production, so even if they take his third, it only equalizes it, considering they took the Surge third as well. And I would argue that it's more damaging for the Surge because they don't only lose the eco, they also lose the production. And Surge is really dangerous when they are having a lot of drones on a 3 saturated basis, on a minimum of like 66 drones. And doing that damage versus a Surge is more significant than it is doing that damage versus a Terran's third. So I'd argue if they can hold the second push, they're gonna be in a stronger position than Killa and Lucidium.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty comfortable position for Duradef and Winter. Like Duradef is he's already up to 4 bases here. He's comfortable. Carriers are coming. Once those interceptors get out, they got +1 air weapons. There's not any medevacs at the moment with Killer's force. There is 4 on the way. And there is also Thors as well. But until those medevacs come out, there we go. There's some medevacs here. So the carriers.
Something to add to that is Droleth is currently floating 7k minerals. How much gas? It was 2,000, but now he added more production, so it's down to 800. So even if you manage to kill both bases, he still got that bank to resell them.
Holy shit.
So for any Protoss players wondering what to do with those minerals, generally, when you have that many minerals as a Protoss, you either add more gateways or you just spam a lot of static defense on your bases, which I don't think Duradef has managed to do either. But going forward, for any Protoss players in the chat, just spam around some pack cannons and some batteries and just spend some of his minerals.
And then additional effect to do it in 2v2, you send them to your allies so they can produce more things to cover your carriers. Because they're currently getting wrecked by the Thors and Corruptors.
I think this is difficult to say, but this game looks like it's definitely shifting in the favour of our Killer and Lucidium. But carriers are doing work. 5 carries are now out.
Medevacs healing the Corruptors, making them even more difficult to kill for the Phoenix and carriers.
Medevacs are healing the Corrupted.
The defense isn't high enough to kill the Corruptors. So this is just a lost game. GG.
Killer and Lucidium take the semi-final series. They move on to the grand final, while Winter and Duradef have a date with Dizzy Dwarf and Shazoo in the losers bracket semi-final. We're going to pop along to those 2 matches. We're going to cast the semi-final in the losers bracket, and then we'll cast the big grand final as well. So please stay tuned, keep your StarCraft hats on, and bear with us while we get this new match set up.
Really impressive scale of both, and especially considering Winter and Duraleth, which are lower in MMR, really putting up a good fight through all this, even taking a map from Killa and Lucidium. Really good, well played by both teams.
GG. Medevac Corruptor. That's how you beat Skytoss, boy.
I love Winter. Why did Necro have 5k? It's like-
Flying water heal queen. Oh my. Okay, I'm glad that I've got language filter on. So we've got Dizzy Dwarf and Shizou. Clem wants to play in Duralef's place. Send send Liquid Clem an invite.
Oh,
We've
wait,
got
okay.
got Wirt in the party.
Invite?
Yes. Is our new party.
I think so. I don't know.
So we need Winty, we need Duralef. Okay. Interesting.
Beth currently opted out, considering he's very sick.
Club?
So I wonder if anyone wants to fill in for Duralef,
Yeah, any,
playing with Winter in for the 3rd and 4th place.
yeah. Anyone in the chat want to fill in?
Oh yes, this is another best of 5.
Easy. Can we just do BO3? Right, I'm just gonna go for a toilet break very quickly. I'll be back very soon.
I hope he has some elevator music on.
I mean, those are lovely. It really makes your brain go static when you're staying there.
Yeah, you just like dig a little bit with your head. It's like, that's nice. Yeah. Gonna be a good day today.
It's like the old, the when you're waiting, when you're getting past calling someone.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, you're just standing there. But since
Yeah.
it's music, you're standing up, not being mesmerized.
Yes.
I wonder how he's looking. If he's actually wanting to go for the 2nd, go for the 3rd or 4th place, or if he feels too sick for it. Is Durley still in the party? Yes, he is. I'm gonna ask him. They are currently thinking if they are. I'm talking to Durleth and Winter at the moment, and I'm checking if they are considering opting out of the 3rd and 4th place, giving a walkover to the opposing team, which is
Dizzy
who
Dwarf
was
and Shizua.
yes. I'm suggesting to both that we could possibly get a substitute, and if no one arrives, I am willing to substitute Duroleth if Winter is up for it.
Yeah, that would be fun.
It would be pretty cool. It would be a decent dynamic as well with the Terran Zerg.
Yes, it would definitely be a mirror matchup.
Yep. Looking double Protoss for Shizu and Dizzy Dwarf at the moment. Feel free to check out the bracket. I'll pop the link back in the chat. So if you want to keep up to date with the bracket, feel free to have a look at that on challenge. Yeah, as Systems also said in the chat, if you like the content, if you like the presentation, if you like my vibe, feel free to drop a follow. Getting quite a few followers today. I'm more than happy to keep that train going. I'm very up in the air as to when I'll be streaming, but drop a follow and you'll be able to see when I do eventually start streaming at some point. Let's go.
You should like market yourself with quality content. It's like there's like
high
once a
quality,
month.
low quantity.
Yeah.
The Nelson stream is always a good stream.
Yeah, when it pop out in the like notification, it's like, oh shit, something is going on. Oh
It's
shit.
just me raging at a ladder.
Yeah. Quality. Right.
Zerg is so Ember.
Yeah.
So on their route,
What is their Discord name? They don't seem to reply, so I'm curious to see if they are gonna opt out or not.
Discord name is Winty.
let's have a look.
Yes.
Okay, it's Winty and
Is it Durleth or Necron?
Necron is
Necron, right?
Necron is good. Is the Discord name for Necron? Feel free to add him. Send him some love.
Yeah, Necron Clam.
is it Winty Poopy Pants that is Winter's?
Yes,
This-
I believe that
legendary.
is indeed him. Winter Poopy Pants. It's been a really fun event, by the way. Super cool. Very big thanks to Killer for setting this event up, getting the challenge done on challenge, and also organising a lot of the matches for us. We'd definitely be down to see something like
news.
this again.
Duroleth and Winter is playing. They are not opting out, so we're actually gonna see our quarterfinals.
Let's go. So
It's
we
gonna
can
be
see
a
who's
best of 3, so it's gonna be a shorter map, shorter series. But they are actually playing.
I like that they could also play very macro against Kidla and Lucidium, which is very impressive. In the last game. Because Winter got a lot like head. He got so much eco because he has such a quick third CC.
Yeah. So we've seen Arctic Flower dropping. That's the long map that we saw in the last series, I believe, in game 2. Can have a look at these maps.
So with all the whispers I have open, I think it's just easier to click on the chat.
Yeah,
I see you tabbing through and then missing, and then you re-tab.
20 packet McNuggets is gonna fall as well. That's a shame. I quite like that map. Pringles, hot something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said that
Pringles,
to me
hot
also.
sour
Hot
cream is
something.
good. Excellent. So we're left with ladder maps minus Arctic Flower at the moment.
I actually think the Pringles one is actually good.
It's quite fun,
It's
yeah.
quite fun. Yeah.
When it gets to the later game, if it does, it's quite an interesting map because of the way because of the rock towers and the minerals. Roskillen goes down.
Yeah, I enjoy with that map as well that the gold bases are in a quite exposed position.
Yeah.
So it's gonna really promote those engagement once you get to that place, and you really want those gold mineral mines and some cheesy play for any potential Zerg player looking to take a really fast natural and potential link blood. We haven't seen it yet on the map, and unfortunately we're not gonna see it in the quarterfinals again.
Yellow jacket goes down. So one more veto to come out from our second team, from Duralef himself, and then we can get ourselves underway in this semi-final match of the losers bracket. So the loser bracket finals, and then the winner of this series will progress on to the grand final, with the loser of this series taking third place in the tournament. Currently snacking on some really nice peanuts, by the way. Some salted peanuts, absolutely excellent.
I might have misheard the first part.
He missed the pea part, yeah.
No, I missed the nuts part.
Some peas.
Oh, to be honest, I just missed the tea part. It was just like, has a really nice penis.
I got my peanuts and I got my Coke Zero. I'm ready to cast some games.
This is the second last game until we're gonna see the final matches.
I think a lot of us thought that we would see Kidder and Lucidium somewhere near the top of this, near the top of these standings. Shazoo and Dwarf as well. One of our higher seeds. Definitely thought we'd see them quite late on. Zistum and Raki thought you guys would get a little bit further, but you did meet Shazoo and Dwarf in the losers bracket, which is pretty tough. Necron.
Very good.
And Winty getting a pretty decent win over these two. So these two have played each other before. Oh, they haven't. Never mind. Shazoo and Dwarf took the other route through the losers bracket. So these guys haven't added to the upper bracket, so they haven't quite played each other just yet. Shazoo and Dwarf getting a bye in the first round. Necron and Winty taking out Zistum and Raki in their first round. Then Anubis and Kira in the second round, and then fall into Killer and Lucidium in that upper bracket final. Whilst Shazoo and Dwarf bye in the first round, they then lost to Killer and to Lucidium in the second round, dropping down to that losers bracket. They then played against Zistum and Raki, knocking those guys out, unfortunately ending their tournament. They progressed on to beat Anubis and Kiro in that losers round 2, and now they've got Necron and Winter in that losers bracket final. Looks like we're about to get started here. We have got Killer and Lucidium joining us as well.
Hey guys.
Hello everyone.
Hello there.
We've got, not sure if you've seen, but Serbian George or Serbian Gabrog and Wee Wee Baguette have been in the chat, very vocally supportive of you two, by the way.
Oh, thank you guys.
George, have you tried my nuts? Also nice and tasty, a nice and salty. Okay, thank you, George.
How is that not a ban word on Twitch? It's like,
Right, George, don't speedrun getting banned, please.
I mean, nuts is the thing you eat, so you know it's not that
True, true. In the bottom right-hand corner, for the first time in this series, and the first time we've seen this map for my cast for this tournament. In the teal, playing with Protoss, we've got Wirt or Dizzy Dwarf. Playing with the lilac or pink Protoss, his teammate SC2. In the red Terran pieces, playing in the top left, we've got Winter. And in the top left-hand corner, playing with Zerg this time. In, I believe that's blue or purple. That's blue. Playing with blue, we have Duralef, who is currently suffering with some sickness. But hell yeah, good on him. Playing the games. He carries the boats and the logs. He is David Goggins' saviour. Let's go. Let's get into the series.
well, first off, Duralef changed race, so he's
That's
Zerg now.
pretty big.
Yeah. And they're gonna rush in, hit them hard.
Which is actually quite a decent strategy with the split spawns. But both players, well, at least one of the players, is popped on a forge, and we've got a triple gateway here from Dizzy Dwarf. So it seems like these players may be pretty prepared for what's going on. Interesting that he pops down a forge blind, potentially because they're split apart. Looking to, looks like he's opting to stay on one base potentially. So we might see some one base shenanigans from our from our pink Protoss player. Yeah, proxy. There we go. Proxy pile in the top right hand corner. What do you think it's going to be, guys? What do you think proxy is going to be?
I'm gonna add the potential for it actually being Proxy Tempest because they're actually taking double gases at this moment, or Dark Templar, right? I would really love to see Proxy Tempest because I think it would just be so fun, and considering the pylon is so far away, but it's more likely to be the sneaky Dark Templar build that is so infamous in 2v2s.
Just watch this probe. Oh, lots of units here. Lots of units into the main base of our SC2 player. Cannon does get up in time, which is going to force those things away. Zealot is out indeed from where doesn't have any stag D just yet. Relying on that battery and these Zealots and the Adepts to hold this marine aggression. These all-ins are really strong on maps like these because you are split apart. You don't have that shared ramp. Rahana is quite a difficult map to play if you are indeed getting all-ins.
SC2 can't help. It's like, are you good, buddy?
There, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's a really strong attack here. If these Adepts go down, this game's pretty much over already, which is, yeah, going to see a lot of probes go down here. A lot of Marines. Marines would be nice to potentially snipe one of these pylons, supply block our Protoss player, and then just kill all the probes. But this game looks like, unless there's a proxy Nexus, proxy Marine, but it looks like this game's going to end relatively quickly unless this Adept can do some business. Really relying on SC2 here.
Let's see if Wirt can actually save one of these probes and potentially getting fed some minerals, or if it's just gonna be set up for a 1 versus 2, where SC2 is gonna have to do all he can do in his power to win the game solo.
Maybe he's taking a sneaky expansion.
And top right hand corner, sneaky
Oh,
base.
he transferred all this money also.
So Wirt is completely on 0.
Yeah. That, or he's very, very good at spending his money.
Very efficient.
It's like, alright, so I'm getting 4 minerals over here, so I should...
Yeah, George, please do not ban speedrun any %. Do not get banned from my channel, please. I'm not sure how banning works in Somalia, but yeah. Unfortunately, if you get banned, you can no longer watch the stream, my friend.
The Protoss is currently floating 680, almost 700 gas. The idea behind the proxy build was probably more than just getting a proxy nexus, so let's see what he actually does with the extra gas. He's adding a robotics facility and 2 additional gateways. Let's see what the future plan, and a robotics bay.
There we go.
So it's probably gonna be Colossi, and he looking to get a really strong push out to kill them before they can actually set up their own
Ooh, scouting. It's gonna scout it. He sees it.
Yep.
The base.
Sees that proxy base, sees the gas, but do they see it?
Yeah, it's hard to see. It's pink. We need to like the Oracle, the Oracle. Like,
Yeah, it catches the probe in the top right. Catches
the base.
the.
Oh no!
Oh, does it? He sees
sunk
the
the
base.
hole.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, as they see the base, I'm guessing we're going to see these Marines immediately head towards that top right hand corner. There we go, there's the Lings coming. The probes should be able to fight. Can the probes beat this? I mean, if the adept was there, then potentially, but I'm not too sure.
Run away. Go, Sentry. You can do it.
Do that force field. Do that force field, indeed. Let's get this sound sorted out as well. I do apologise. I was playing music the whole time. There we go. Space has been scouted. The fake Oracle making its way across the map. There's a new Stargate for our Protoss player.
Oh yeah. +1, 1 Colossus. Here we go. Timing attack.
Give this swat. Oh! Nearly perfect force field there. Sentry's going to tickle that Overlord to death. Ling's going to town on this base in the top right hand corner. Looks like we're heading into a pretty scrappy game. It would be interesting to see how Shizu's going to navigate his way around this one and whether this game is actually still in a winnable position.
They've really been setting up all these potential all-ins for these two, so we can really see that Durule and Winter has prepared, probably practiced it a bit, and really put in the thought effort of creating all these variances of all-ins.
Yeah.
Just to have these fast matches. Oh well, it could have been relatively fast, but he had cannons and sacrificed his teammates.
Yeah. Especially if you look at the average MMR of all of their main races, like the average MMR on all of their main races is about 1,000 higher, potentially around 1,000 higher for Shizu and Dizzy Dwarf. Dizzy Dwarf currently sitting at, sorry, about 1,000, I apologise, probably about 800. Shizu, you've got Winter and Duralef, they're both sitting around sort of 3.7. Dizzy Dwarf kind of sitting around 4.5, and Shizu probably around 4.3, 4.4, 4.5ish. So massive MMR difference on the main races. It's really been nice to see them take advantage of those aggressive builds and try and pull up some upsets, which they already have earlier in the round, to be fair. Being some higher MMR opponents in the first round. Sorry to mention it again, this is a stim. Ravages are a really nice thing to see there. Once you think the Marines should just pounce. Take out the Nexus.
The Zoo is getting a lot of work now with the two Colossi and basically no protection on them, so he's really utilizing the high and low ground and the cannons he previously set up. The Ravagers are currently trying to take down the cannons so they can just break in, brute force their entrance through. But it's difficult with the Colossi. Keep moving back and forth, just taking swipes at them. They're currently expanding to third base at home, so they're also setting up, so this isn't very much all-in, but they are just taking a really secure position. So this has become pretty much a campaign mission for Shizu, where he needs to hold out for as long as possible. But in the end cinematic of the map, he will still die regardless. So it's gonna be see how efficient these Colossi can be before they can actually break through.
Throw back to In Outer Darkness. You see the guy managed to beat the mission. He managed to actually, like, there's a dude recently, probably a couple months ago, where he actually beat the mission that you wanted to beat. Yeah, some guy actually, there's a spot, like a cliff spot on the left hand side of the base where you can drop like a couple Archons in there, and the ground units, like from the Zag, the couple Zag players in the game, like they can't reach you, and then the corruptors can't kill you because they're corruptors. And then the only thing they can hit you is muters, because remember in wings, the only thing they can hit you is like muters and brewlords. So brewlords get killed by carriers, and muters get rinsed by the archons and the carriers. And eventually, the Zerg player has to a point where they have too much supply in ground, so they can't actually kill. They don't have enough air units to kill your archons, so you essentially like soft lock / whip the mission. It's really funny to see. So someone did manage to beat the unbeatable mission, which is absolutely crazy.
Well, this is awkward.
Also doing it 15 years after the mission came out as well is quite funny.
Unfortunately, SC2 took a swipe at his own immortal, which damages a bit, but he's still really showing his will to just exhaust the very sick Duraleth that actually changed the map from changed the series from a best of 5 to a best of 3 due to him not feeling very well. So even if he is gonna lose, it will still drain the stamina special of Duraleth. Soon, Steam Packs is gonna pop out in 20 seconds, and Combat Shield is just about to finish. So we're probably gonna see attack here, but there's no tech as of yet. We are not seeing any Vikings, which could really ease this fight. Just taking swipes at that class, especially considering SC2 doesn't afford really creating the Stalkers and the Blink to protect that Colossi and Immortals. And now we're gonna see an engage where they're really getting this around. They're gonna snipe the Colossi and trap the Immortals. So this is probably the winning move. GG's. Game 1 where Winter and Duraleth took the game. More effort than expected considering they killed the first player very close into the game. SC2 managed to drag it out to a 12-minute game, draining the stamina of potentially specific Duraleth, who is sick.
Some stress there.
Be interesting to see if Duraleth carries on playing Zerg into the next match.
We're gonna see a TVT for the first time.
We're gonna see 4 Protoss or something like with the 4 Zergs earlier. Yeah, Oscar popped into the 4 Zerg lobby because I know nothing about Zerg, like ZBZ. Like, Oscar, help me.
It became a bling bling war. Can you believe it?
I'm just here for the bailing hit. That's all I was there for. Alright, let's get this game underway. Let's get this lobby going. Also, again, really special thanks to Killer for sorting this tournament out. Making sure we're getting all the games running smoothly, hosting all these games. Really good job from Killer. So yeah, make sure if you do see him around, especially on the ladder, Killer or Zergswag, make sure you give him some nice words. If you were thinking about BMing, maybe don't do that today. He is a really nice guy. Also offers coaching, so if you're interested in that, hit him up on Discord. Killer4763. 4763. Pop him in the chat. Feel free to hit him up if you want coaching. Really chill guy. Thank you very much.
Additionally, if you face him on ladder, he tends to pull out his adept from his natural wall, so make sure to use that if you are strong.
Yeah, he also likes to cannon rush every game. Totally. Right. Pop it into Crimson Lab.
One lie and one truth.
One lie, one truth. Which one's which? Mr. Turtle, tournament is not over. We're currently in the semi-finals, so we're the loser bracket semi-finals. The winner of this match will go on to the final against Killer and Lucidium, and the loser of this match will finish in 3rd place. We are currently at 1-0 to Duraleth, and this has been shortened down to a best of 3 because of health reasons for Duraleth. Duraleth going back to Protoss, by the way. So, with that mentioned, in the top left-hand corner, playing with Protoss this game, he's coloured blue. We have Duraleth, and in red, playing with Terran, we've got Winter, who is his teammate. In the bottom right-hand corner, playing with the pink Protoss pieces. Likes those pink pieces. We've got SC2. And in the bottom right hand corner, with that lovely E-Hand reskin. I'm a massive fan of that, use them myself. Playing with the teal Protoss pieces, and that lovely Fat Marine from Carbot Animations on his Nexus. We have Dizzy Dwarf. A double Protoss, a double wall on the low ground. No Zergs in this game. Very interesting choice. It will be interesting to see if these Protosses go for a 2-gate. Looks like we have a 2-gate from SC2 and a 1-gate expand from Dizzy Dwarf. Yep, double gate. And then the Cyber Core is going to come down very quickly. Pretty safe opening to have one Protoss go 2-gate, 1-gate expand, potentially go for the pylon first. So not anything proper gas intensive. Likely going to see potentially a Twilight opener. Not going to see a Stargate unless that Stargate is a little bit delayed from what hit. Overall, pretty standard. Rallying into gas, pretty normal. Nothing to say too far. On the other side of the map, we've got Duralef going for a 2-gate build as well. Very standard for PvP. Makes sense considering they're playing against 2 Protoss. We've got a single gas opener with a CC on the high ground into a reactor. For our Terror player, going for double Marine into a second barracks, and I'm guessing a third barracks is going to come up quite soon. Third barracks potentially quite soon, unless it's a 2-1-1. There we go, there's a third barracks. So 3 racks for our Terror player, which 3 racks, if you can get enough Marauders in there, really solid build, really solid time and attack against Protoss, especially even in the current meta. Age-old build, 3 racks, always solid, always good. Potentially has the purpose of essentially skill checking, so you get a nice skill check in there. If the Protoss isn't ready, those Marines and Marauders with Stim absolutely shred the Protoss army. Or try and get that cancel on the third base on the Protoss, which potentially may go further out here. Interesting to see they chose 3 racks considering that there is that pocket third base, but it'd still be nice to see what they can get. Adepts do manage to get into the main base as well, so they get a full read. Yeah, see the tech lab, see the 3 barracks, so they do get a full read on what these players are doing. Not sure why Winter has decided to flip these around. These adepts are gonna hopefully get out. Adept does get chased away.
Nice.
Not before killing what looks like 5 probes, which is quite significant for this time in the game. Fake Oracle scouting around, really nice play. We've seen a lot of this fake Oracle from SC2 this tournament. Super nice, really fast, just as fast as a Phoenix, but also warrants a bit of a bigger response, because usually if you see, especially as a Protoss player, if I see one Phoenix flying into my main, I'm not very scared. I think it's a hallucination. But if you see that Oracle coming in, you don't know if it's you don't know if it's real. You don't know if it's not. So it does force a little bit of a bigger response. Yeah, pinging that Oracle is a little bit scared of it, but not realizing this is a hallucination.
I'm a little bit
Nelson,
worried.
can you explain why he potentially go for Glaive Adepts here rather than in a PvP matchup?
Glaive is a really unusual build for PvP. Can work. The only issue that you have is obviously where currently has, or Dizzy Dwarf currently has that Immortal out, has those Stalkers, and if the Protoss player doesn't really get much damage done, then it can be really difficult to stabilize in the game. That's why you don't see Glaives a lot, because once those Adepts do die, and as long as the opponent doesn't take too much damage, it is really, the player can essentially go across the map and aim. Combined with the Marines is interesting. I think this is just because they practice this build. This is just they practice this as a versus X build. But it looks like this build is pretty much, this build is going to fizzle out and not really get much done. Quick win probably not working for them this time. We could probably, to be fair, we could see another warp in, potentially a prism. There we go. Prism coming from Suzu. They're going to grab that Prism. I'm guessing that Wirt may get a Prism, and they're probably going to very soon aim move across the map. We see Wirt already moving out. Yeah, there we go. So once that Prism pops, yeah, I'm going to see some stuff going across the map. Adepts do make a bit of a difference there. So you got 3 kills on them. GG, well played from Winter. There we go, GG as well. Makes sense. The Adepts didn't really do anything there. Very difficult for our Terran and our Protoss player to get back into that game, considering how behind they are economically as well. Decent game too. Right, let's pop into this final game. Any thoughts on that game, boys? Anything apart from the glaives?
I just really enjoy how much Winter and Roulette has set up for all this. Even though this really fell flat due to it being double Protoss, and it could probably work much better if it's a Zerg that's going for the Ling style. I really enjoy the fact that they added so much variety to their 2-base all-ins. It's been really fun to see their creativity.
100%.
Even if the all-in doesn't work from time to time.
Yeah, and it's nice to see them fighting up a lot of MMR as well as a result. Like, sometimes it's not always about skill, sometimes it is just about that creativity and getting that jump on someone.
Especially if you... It isn't until you probably become on the higher end of Grandmaster that the game is so figured out that less optimal surprising builds don't work just as much unless you have a real high skill gap up there. It's only below Grandmaster, I'd say, or well, below Grandmaster, all those weird all-ins can most likely work, as we've seen with the proxy Thor drop with SCVs repairing it versus Protoss being cool back in the day.
Yep.
The double batter cruiser teleport in versus Zerg is also a really cool one. So there's all this crazy build that works still really well versus people below, I'd say 5.4k, 5.5k, where there's still a lot of mistakes that those players do that can be abused.
When can Zerg have like one of those builds? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop an Ultralisk. It's the first thing I do. That would be cool.
Versus which race? I'm curious.
I don't know. Everyone. Okay, Ultra drop for the first thing.
Did you see Hearthstone's challenge games? And
No, was that one of them?
yeah, it sounds like it could be one of them.
I love Hearthstone. He's been putting out some really quality content recently. Like, usually puts it around sort of like this time of night. Every day he's on it. Genuinely, he's really on it. Like when I go to bed, load up YouTube, Hearthstone's on there. Nice Hearthstone cheese video really does get you ready for bed, you know.
It's funny because whenever Hearthstone has a video up or something, everyone in the ladder is gonna do that specific meta or like unbuild brings life in the ladder. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point out the Bane of Zerg for 8 months ago, before the Snipe I think was a little bit nerfed, where there was a build where they added Hellbat's Ghost.
Oh, I saw
where the Ghost
that,
just walked up and sniped all the defensive queens, and the Zerglings supposed to be supporting it just melts both by the Ghost auto attacks and the Hellbats. And adding Roaches, well, you could snipe those as well back in the day, so they also got one shots, so they just ended up having 6 Ghosts sniping all Zerg's defensive units I could deal with the Hellbats and the Ghost. It was quite fun. The only real solution to that was actually just getting the drop with a shit ton of Zerglings scouting it, or just adding spine crawlers.
Introduction.
We're into our final game of the series. I will update the score in just a minute. On Undercurrent Ellie, in the bottom left-hand corner, playing with Zerg this time. We have the ill man himself, the leper, the guy with the lurgy. It is Dual F on Necron. And his teammate, the blue Terran, is Winter. In the top right-hand corner with the absolutely beautiful Ehan reskin. Looks even better with that purple. We have Dizzy Dwarf or Wirt. And then here's a lovely teammate playing with the best race, in my humble opinion. With the pink pieces, we have Zhu.
the game is already underway with the proxy barracks happening just again with what looks like the same link flood that happened in the first game. So let's see how this one will turn out. Oh, he's adding a tech lab, which means it's gonna be proxy marauders instead of just marines.
A double gas is very interesting for proxy marauders. So our Protoss players are aware that there is some sort of proxy. They're looking for it. They can't quite find it just yet, but they are aware there is some kind of proxy going on.
I love that DC went for 3 gates before Cybernetics.
Yeah.
It's like, Durleth picking Zerg can only mean like one thing, I guess.
True. I mean, so if you're the Protoss players here, you scout a Terran has no barracks in their main, you scout the 1 gas. The thing you should be looking for here is you should be looking for batteries, adepts, which is exactly what these guys are doing. Absolutely brilliant response. And as quickly as possible, we need to deal with those marauders. We need to get a Stargate out. We need to see a Stargate from one of these Protoss players. I'm not sure they can afford it, but if you can, really need to see that Stargate. Potentially SC2 might have enough gas for it. Because once a Void Ray comes out, this becomes infinitely easier to hold. You can just put those high beams, you know, like those deers in the headlights. Those marauders eventually will become deers in the headlights once those once those Void Rays turn on that prismatic alignment, as we see the Stargate going down by SC2 here. Really nice play. Super nice stalling with these adepts. Batteries coming up. We'll see if the links try and come in, see if the marauders try and hit. I think Winter might just be trying to save up some marauders, or potentially just going into macro. We will see. One thing to note is these marauders do have concussive shell that will slow the units that it hits down. So zealots in particular without charge do become insanely useless against these kind of things. And if you do catch an adept or a stalker outside of battery range, that the adept and the stalker is probably likely gonna die, just because it can't reach back in time because of that slow.
One really cool adaptation they've also made, SC2 and Vert, is that they keep making adepts, which their goal right now is just to buy time, and marauders only deal extra damage to armored units, which means stalker. So they're gonna have a much harder time killing the marauders, but they will survive longer, buying time for the Void Rays come out, and at that point it's just gonna be over with all the batteries.
So if any Protoss players...
Let's see how the Winter and Durleth is gonna try to escape this very rough situation.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have anything they can shoot up?
So for any Protoss players watching this game, this is how you hold. There we go. That's how you hold proxy marauders. You make adepts, batteries, you stall, you get a Void Ray out, and the game is practically over, unless the opponent proxies a factory. But semi-final, our winners. The series goes to DC Dwarf and SC2, which means our final game will be those two against Killer Lucidium. Those two are my odds-on favourites for the final, so pretty expected as far as the final goes. Lucidium's just joining us right now ahead of his final match, yapping some Balkan yap. All right, Lucidium.
What the hell was that? What?
Proxy marauders. I don't know, but I think you might be struggling. I'm not sure. Hello, Winter.
I hope our games were entertaining.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We had a great time. We're having a massive.
The thing is, on the DC Dwarf and SC2 series, we actually were planning to.
Sorry, just lost a bit of connection.
You cut out Winter, so if you wanna repeat what you said, whenever you come back. He seems to be allowed. We lost a man. The moment he entered. He's a side character in a scary movie.
He's also a side character in the final of this of this tournament as well.
Yes.
I feel like the McNuggets should be obligatory.
Yeah, I think we need 20 McNuggets in that final.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you guys are gonna get 20 McNuggets.
Hell yeah.
That is
what's it
just
in?
that's Killer joining us, by the way. So yeah, if you need any tournaments hosted, any tournaments organised, or any higher level GM Protoss, all 3 race coaching, Killer's Discord is indeed in the Twitch chat, so feel free to check him out. And really lovely guy. Feel free to, and if you see him on the ladder as well, feel free to make sure you proxy order him every game.
Donate these free MMR points too.
We had it's been some really really instructive content tonight. To be fair, that last game was like a perfect example of how to hold proxy marauders.
Wow.
Yeah, that was actually
really
really good.
nice.
reaction.
Yeah. I don't know if Winter actually said this, but either way, even if we won, we were planning on just leaving and giving them.
Oh, okay, because you guys didn't wanna.
Yeah, this was just for fun, basically. We just wanted to entertain people in the fucking Twitch stream.
Yeah.
You guys played well.
Zerg is so horrible. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we were quite impressed that you guys got so far. By the way, you pulled off some really nice wins in this tournament.
Yeah.
Dude, this is just all ins, basically. We did
Yeah,
that was
nothing.
Totally
one
bad.
that you didn't go all in macro
Yeah, it
game
was like-
against
it was like-
Killa, right?
It was like, okay, so they blind counter all ins.
Yes.
What if we play greedy?
Yeah. Because you got the
Yeah.
third CC before Killa. I was
Dude,
like, oh,
I
shit.
went CC first that game.
Yeah.
I went CC first.
And it went pretty well. You were ahead.
No, it wasn't working. It was no.
Yeah,
We
maybe
were
the
ahead, but we didn't have the skill.
5k
run.
back.
Yeah.
So just while we're in game, guys, just make sure that we're
The bank of Necron, bro.
Yes.
while we're in game, guys. Just make
Necron.
sure that you're just trying to make sure that you can let the 3 of us cast, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we just wanted to like
Just drop in and have a chat. Yeah, that's fair.
I just
Yeah.
want to point out in that game number 1 where we played, or where I played that adept thing.
Yeah.
I learned the build 10 minutes ago. Before that.
So that was the video.
I actually called it out. You were
We literally called you out.
Your build orders between each game.
Every time I was like, 1 second.
We literally said like,
Oh,
when you
no,
said
no, no,
winter-
no, no, no,
Within
no,
like
no, no,
15
no, no.
minutes.
Me going shit, that was not a joke. But
Just
I
try
have
and keep
the
language
spawning-
family friendly, please. Thank you.
me going poop was not a joke. But I had the spawning pool or the spawning tool website up, and then
He found a one base all in.
Interview
I found
time.
I found the thingy. That was so funny.
I actually called it out when you said we were going on a break.
So, Winter, were you by any chance during a couple of your series
No,
like,
no.
when you were watching videos, were you by any chance watching a video on how to do a 3-rack?
No, I actually
No.
know how to do a 3-rack.
No,
Believe it or not. Believe it or not, I know how to do a 3-rack.
Did you
He's just
prepare
not
any of these builds in advance? Was there any sort of practice that
Just
went
the
into
Zella
those?
one.
Just the
The,
Zella.
the only build that we prepared is like the 3 racks and two base
Just
charge.
out of interest as well, Necron. What so you have gas available? I just wanted to know, like, was there a purposeful decision to not include a prism with your build, or is that something?
Fuck
like,
that. I mean,
you
freak
look at?
that. Freak that.
Yeah, good, family friendly. Yeah, frick that. Nice.
Family friendly.
Yeah.
Also, were you guys aware about the resource sharing, especially considering the
6,000
limitation
minerals.
of minerals and gas?
Honestly, we kind of forgot it
I
exists.
told Winter to request like 2,000 minerals, and he did not. So
We forgot it exists, I'm be honest. I
the,
was
the
too
bank
locked
did
in.
not.
I was too
Yeah,
locked in.
no, the bank did not get traded.
Too locked in.
The
Our game
6,000 mineral.
I think
Yeah,
our
it
game
could
was the most
actually
entertaining.
it could actually have done quite a difference with the corruptor if and roaches versus helping the carriers out with a much larger marine force. Help.
Okay.
Honestly, at least our games were entertaining. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. We
There was
went
no
into
chance
this
for us winning, so we just
with,
decided to troll with
yeah.
the all-ins and Jesus.
That begs the question: who's the real winners of this tournament? Is it gonna be the winner of this specifier, or is it Necron or Winty?
True. We had
Okay,
a
um,
really good tournament for this.
I'm
one.
gonna be real. It's been cool. I'm going to go to sleep now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Necron is like very.
I am
Necron is also
dying.
very
It's-
sick.
It's
He's also very
6:30 and I'm dying.
Oh god.
He was
yeah,
playing
it's
this while
late.
being sick.
Holy crap.
Okay, I'll see you again. Goodbye.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See ya, guys. See ya, guys.
Bye.
Let's go. Just getting these maps sorted out.
Alright, we got both of the new map in.
Let's go. So third map will be McNuggets. So we're guaranteed to at least play on 20 pack of McNuggets. Let's go. Hopefully that one will go the distance because I really want to see that game. I really want to see that map a little bit later on into the
I hope
game.
we get like some sponsorship from McDonald's.
And if it comes to it, game 5 will be on Pringles hot sour cream. Let's go. So both of those maps, for those of you that are unaware or just haven't been listening, McNuggets and Pringles, well, Pringles hot sour cream and 20 pack of McNuggets are 2 maps made by our very own Killer, who is indeed playing in this match. And they've been added to the regular map pool to form a map pool of 9 for this tournament. So really nice to see those 2 maps in and getting played in the final, as we're just going to head into the lobby for that now. I think we should do a 1v1 tournament soon. I think that'd be really cool if we did a 1v1 tournament like in-house.
Mhm.
I think that'd be
That
super,
would be
like,
so much fun.
and we could do a map pool of mine and Killer's maps.
Oh yeah. Oh, wait.
How would that go with all the very, very skilled grandmasters we have in?
We probably just
guess-
we could handicap it, or we could just keep it as it is. So loading into Emerald City. White and Shazoo are both going Terran. They double Terran. Interesting. Emerald City is a map that I have not casted yet. I'm not sure if there's been any games on this one yet, but I have not seen this map as of yet. I don't think I want to play Terran. No worries. Right, let's get this game rehosted. Let's go. Wrong races. Let's rehost this game. Slight difficulty there with some races, but we'll get back. We'll get back going very soon. One oh, nah.
Nelson, are you an administrator of the Discord channel, by the way?
No.
Okay, because we probably want to remove Nain from the 2v2 and allow Kill and Lucidium to sit by themselves, because Winty has joined there.
Turtle,
Okay,
are
Killer-
you around to just do some admin stuff with that channel and the DeVoid there?
Killer is
So-
admin. He can kick him out if he wants to.
Cool. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, welcome, Name. Welcome, if you're still here. Emerald City. Let's go. Make sure we got our correct races. Let's get going. It's been super fun. We've been going for 4.5 hours on stream. This is we're entering nearly 4 hours 30. Been a really fun night. Just about to get these grand finals underway. Might have to charge for my casting services for next BTL, Mr. System.
I'm gonna charge you.
No, I might have to charge you for my casting on the next one.
Ah yes, yes. Podcasters.
When is the next one? I'm more than happy to cast it if I'm not playing.
Well, we were supposed to maybe have this week, but I think we're gonna have it next week. They wanted to like play it earlier. D4 has one more map to play before brackets.
Yalla. Go!
To tell us more about the upcoming event that Nelson is also gonna cast.
There's also a show match, right? Wasn't it
Yeah. When is that?
today? Draco and Killer?
Is that tomorrow?
Or maybe tomorrow.
Could be. I don't think it's today. I think it might be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can also explain the the level of these two players for those who has just recently joined, that it's a quite high level, not the top level. It's
Still,
low Grandmaster, Master 1 show match.
So Draco is a player, Swedish player, part of the DeVoid clan, Zerg player, who's currently peaking at around sort of high 4-8. Killer, the player who is definitely pushing the boundary of Grandmaster really recently, climbing up to sort of midway through 4-9, up into that boundary for GM. GM's probably at around sort of 5,020 MMR at the moment. Potentially 5k would get you in. It's a really high level match coming up very soon between Killer and Draco. A little bit of a spoiler, matches between these guys tend to go the distance, even in best of ones. So recently there was a game on Frostline they had against each other which went for over an hour. And we've got 7 games potentially. It could be just like that, so lots of action. To make sure you follow the channel, make sure you got that notification bell on as well so you can see when the stream comes up. I'll be here, I'll be casting it. We can enjoy a best of 7 all together.
A real additional nice thing to see just these players that are around 5k is that you're gonna see very, very high level play, but you're also gonna be able to relate to them a little bit more than watching Cyril and Clem and the like, who just plays the most impeccable with very few mistakes that are distinguishable for us lower level players. So it's really cool to see. Exactly.
So the start is best of 5. In the top left hand corner we have 2 Protoss players. One of them is Shizu with the 2 Protoss pieces, with that lovely ever so present Ehan reskin, and the blue Protoss pieces we have Wert or Dizzy Dwarf. 2 Protoss players deciding to go for that low ground wall, fortifying those 2 bases with cannons. In the bottom right hand corner, going for a really quick gold base here, really cheeky gold base. This our purple Zerg, goes by the name of Lucidium, or Darkencade, or Dankin Candelanda. He loves it when you call him names that aren't his. I promise, please do it. And our red Terran, going for what looks like a super standard, well, looks like a 2 Marine into a CC, into a factory. A single gas opener. It's the maker and the organizer of the tournament, as well as the map maker for a couple of maps we're going to see later in the series. It's Mr. Zerg's work, or better known as Killer. Just seeing a little bit of a skirmish between this Adept and the 2 Firstlings. Adept's getting the scout on this gold base, so really important scout here, a really important bit of information. Zealot just swiping away at the hatchery, not too much anymore. Lucidium deciding to pull drones, and we see a recall of these Adepts and Zealots as the Marines, as the extra Lings make their way towards that gold base. Bunker going down on the natural from Killer. Usually just to deal with any sort of early Stalker aggression. That tends to be a skill check in PvT. When that first sort of Stalker or 2 come across the map. So for example, if a Terran goes for a Reaperless opener, you might be inclined as a Protoss player to send your Stalkers across the map just to try and see if you can pick off maybe some SCVs and natural. But this bunker here is essentially what stops that from happening.
We can also see Lucidium really utilizing the gold, producing a lot of Zerglings to get that map control. In the early start, just having vision around the places, moving out. Now he has left, so he's in the dark, currently spreading out Zerglings to see the attack path, just really preparing and taking 4 gases very fast, which is either indicating Mutas, which is the most likely scenario, but it could also be a little fun swarm host setup with Nidus. So
we got the first Banshee on the way across the map from Killer here. Researching that cloak, so we are going to see some cloak banshees in this match. They've seen a massive uptake in the 1v1 meta recently. So cloak banshees are one of those units that we've seen a lot of, especially against Protoss. Very difficult to not take damage as a Protoss, or even as a Zerg in this case. Speaking of Protoss, our blue Protoss Dizzy Dwarf going for those glaives. and our teal Protoss going for that +1. So interesting to see what we're going to see. Going to see a Glaive move out, potentially in response to this gold base from Lucidium. Lucidium already prepared with 3 spines at this base though, going to make it quite difficult for these adepts to do anything. Cannons already up in the mineral lines, observers present, units are in position. This Banshee only getting 1 kill so far. Very difficult to get kills with a single Banshee. Once the second one comes along, maybe a little bit easier. Second Banshee is on its way across the map. So we'll see what these Banshees can get done. But it looks like both Protoss players are pretty well set up to deal with these.
Gonna add a little bit additional to that. He actually added 2 cannons in each base, even though he had the observer to defend it with stalker, which is you could consider it additional damage. And Lucidium is actually going for the spire, so we're probably gonna see a Mutalisk out of him, really abusing the gold base, staying on low drone count, just making sure that he can do. Yes.
He's gonna have a lot of gas.
Is it?
I don't think he's gonna have enough minerals because he's like, even though he has the gold spine, it's like he's very, very low still. If you press the I to income, he's been like a quarter or half of the income of the others.
Also, a point I wanted to make was if the Banshees have already scouted cannons in the mineral lines of the Protoss player, is Mutas the best call?
Yeah.
It depends. I would imagine if he could have popped out, like his entire gas tank, which was 1200 of Mutas, and then you strung up, it would have been quite scary. And as we see, Vert is not adding the extra cannon, so he's potentially quite vulnerable
And he's making
to
Colossi.
the Mutas. Yeah, and he's making Colossi. No
No.
one is adding Blink, so this could get really dangerous.
Templar
Or will
Archives
they have
is going down. Is going
no
down.
Blink.
No blink. Templar Archives is going down, but if you're a Protoss player, you see Mutas, you see that Spire, which they don't, but if you did, so if they did have Omniscient Vision, then you would
Shizu
like to
actually
see...
scouted the Mutas. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
There we
Shizu
go.
actually scouted the Mutas, so with the observer, they moving into the exact path, so let's see how they respond to it.
So
I'm
the
sorry,
thing
you
that
can keep
want
going.
here, yeah, so from a Protoss point of view, if you see these Mutas, the first thing you need to do, pop down 2 Stargates, get a Phoenix, makes your life a lot easier. So 2 Stargates and a Phoenix, and you also want at least a battery and a cannon in each mineral line. It looks like these Mutas are going to do a hell of a lot of damage, especially with no provisions in place. Really disrupting the mineral lines, picking up a lot of workers here. See these Mutas getting 2 kills. So at least a couple of workers here and down, forcing those workers to move around bases, picking off pylons, picking off workers, potentially getting some workers here from Shizu as well. Cannon will force those units to shoo away quite quickly. Does keep that first Muta alive. As we see a move out from the Protoss. So both Protoss players looking like they're just grabbing their armies, going across the map. If these tanks siege up, this can be really difficult for the Terrans to get it, for the Protoss to get in here. Disruptors are going to need to get some decent hits, but I'm not sure about the control. Protoss gets on the high ground, really nice position here. Colossus need to be shooting the Marines. Yeah, Colossus now retargeting the Marines. Protoss really overwhelming here. Future investment doesn't seem to pay enough. It looks like it's going to be first match towards our 2 Protoss players as well. Mutas are forced to go home. Wet is very low on workers, so this is pretty all in from our 2 Protoss here. Colossus absolutely rinsing the Marines. Really nice micro from the Colossus here. Getting all those lings, getting all those Marines dead. It looks like we're going to have our first win of the series. War Prism here. There we go. GG. Really interesting game 1 there. Muta play, really interesting. What do we think about the Mutas, guys?
I think if they would actually have all been produced the moment that the spy finished, which is usually the goal when you're doing these 2 base Muta builds, he could have really crippled them much earlier, but since they trickled in and you had to wait for the mineral to catch up with the gas to get them all out, then it really delayed the damage it could potentially do, and it really gave time for the Shizu to get the Temporal Archives and the Archons, which makes fighting with that army with Mutalisk so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Stalkers don't do on equal numbers, the Stalkers win. But if you really can just mass Zergling and Mutas, then the Stalkers tend to not perform that well versus a big clump, especially if they show up early and in huge numbers. Then you can kind of just effectively beat the Stalkers with Mutas unless there are batteries on the side. So I think it was a really cool idea going Mutalisk. It was just a little bit poorly timed with the mineral count.
Yeah, I
I
was
think
gonna
also
ask
the
about
problem is like both of the protoss went to like only 2 bases. Like we're gonna sit in 2 bases, you just make a powerful army, I feel. And then you go, if there was like a 3 base protoss, then it would be more open, like more opportunity to hit with the Muta, I think also, right?
Yes, that would generally be the case, I do believe. But considering they went for sentries and a lot of robo units, and the Templar Archive was, they basically only got 2 Archons. I think if it hit the moment when Spire got down and the 12 Mutas popped out straight away, it would have bought enough time for them to add more Spine Crawlers and do this thing, because I don't think they realized that it was a 2-base all-in from both protoss with only robo units mostly.
Indeed. Right, game 2. Red Terran. We got Killer, Papu Zerg, Lucidium, and our 2 Protoss players go by Dizzy Dwarf or What and Shazoo. Got a lot of love for Killer and Lucidium in the chat at the moment from Sandstorm Gaming. A lot of love from Somalia. I believe he had to make a decent sacrifice to make sure that he can have internet to watch this game. I hope the quality is good enough for you, Mr. Sandstorm. He's saying, go Killer and Lucidium. Protoss OP. Justice for my boys. Yeah, justice for Lucidium and Killer. Keep showing that support, George. Really nice to see it from you, mate.
Hope for the first macro game, the proper macro game where we can actually see an end game, because I've been waiting for that all these years.
Yes.
Showing how not only can the different races be going into a really interesting end game, to see if Terran and Zerg can actually break through the Protoss really strong end game, especially working together. But we can only wait, hope, and see what is gonna turn up this game as well.
We saw a glimpse of it with the medevac healed corruptors earlier.
That was absolutely amazing.
That was pretty imba. Balance fine about 2v2.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a Terran Protoss combination, which is probably the most solid defensive and really oppressive combination during late game, especially if you go mech into Sky. It's gonna give the opponents a lot of time to expand and do their jazz.
Yep.
But if well executed and good coordination, as we can see, mech can really make good defensive positions throughout the large areas of the map.
Yeah, looks like we're going up to a pretty standard game so far. Killer going for that 3 racks, which is all very powerful against Protoss. Always like it's a staple build in a lot of Terran's arsenals, especially against Protoss. Can get a lot of work done. Generally pretty solid. Gets you those units out. Going to see a tech lab. Once this barracks finishes, this 3rd barracks finishes, likely going to see another tech lab. Get that stim, get that combat shields. From our Protoss players, we saw a sentry opener from Suzu. That is essentially to make sure that he can get a hallucination scout off early, from what I've seen. Maybe another reason, but that's the only logic I can see behind it. Although we do have a Stargate opener from Word, so that's likely going to be an Oracle to start with. But if we see Phoenix, that will also be nice. Lucidium's Overlords getting the scout, getting the confirmation on the Stargate, getting the confirmation on that Oracle. He sees the Oracle. Got a Robo going down for Mr. Shazoo. Going quite a greedy build. Only going 1 gate. So 1 gate. 1 gate Robo. Very risky. Very quick 3rd base here. Then gets the 2nd and 3rd gate. So likely going to see potentially an Obs. Yeah, an Observer. Lucidium just grabbing his 3rd base. As we've seen in this well, in this whole tournament, really. Really solid map vision, catching everything. Lucidium's doing great with his Zerg. Sees that Oracle coming in, grabs the Queen in position. Oracle's likely going to get a Revelation and then get shooed away. So not much going on here. Fake Oracle from Zoo, really nice. Real Oracle going towards the main base. Queen is currently staring at the hatchery. Oracle maybe going to stasis ward off. Ooh, massive stasis ward here. That's a lot of droids in that stasis. That's huge for 4 minutes 30. Pretty sure the Oracle also gets the scout. Doesn't quite get the scout on the double Evo, which is quite big. So +1 missile with a Roach Warren. Gas is 3 and 4 going down. Likely going to see potentially 5 and 6 if we have some Ravagers in this. As that 3 racks from Killer decides to move across the map. The Protoss is not unaware, so our Protoss players are aware of what's going on. They've got that Observer on top of that gold base. Overlord, even though it's got speed, isn't going to save it. Eventually going to get tickled to death and, by the sentries and stared to death by the Immortal. As the Observer sees this Terran ball moving across the map. 3 Marauders, not too much with this push. So as long as there's enough Guardian Shells, the Oracles potentially could land a decent stasis on these units. Would be nice if the stasis was a little bit further forward. Could see this Terran and Zerg army do quite a lot here, but we'll just have to see as this fight starts up. Colossus already out. Really nice meta game here. Really early Robo. 1 gate into Robo allows that Robo bait to go down really quickly. So we're at 6 minutes in, and Colossus is already out. Extended thermal lance is pretty much all the way down. Likely going to see Twilight Forge. There we go. So we're going to see +1, potentially +1 armor, and then charge. Or we can see +1 attack and blink. Those are 2 options we could see as a 4th base goes down for Shizou. And as the other team, so Lucidium and also Killer, securing those watchtowers, getting that map vision. Really chilled out game so far, not much going on. Nice settled, nice settled start into the mid game.
Once again, Lucidium and Killer is a bit on the back foot, both being quite behind on worker count. Killer on 50, Lucidium on 51, while the Blue Protoss Zoo is on 72 and the Blue Protoss Vert is on 53. So we're gonna really have to watch out how they're gonna try to come back if
Oracle's going down to the turret.
If they're gonna do a big attack, trying to equalize the economy somehow, destroying their army, getting an advantage that way, or if they're gonna just go super greedy from this point. Zerg doesn't do very well on lower than at least 66 workers, 3 full separate bases. Lucidium is taking the gold base, trying to equalize his lower worker count and adding more drones. Probably gonna saturate the gold base to get the eco back in a good position.
Spotter pylons out by Mr. Shizou, making sure that nothing can get past. Really nice patrol on the links from Lucidium here. Storm coming up. So Storm coming up for what? Double Forge. Likely just going to get +1 attack, +1 armor.
Action.
Zerglings attacking the 5th base. Both attacking the 5th base. No, the 3rd base, sorry. Or looking like they're managing to do some damage to it.
This Terran army, Wet is going to need some support from Shizou here. This Terran army, if it A-moved, would just quite easily rinse through that Protoss army. The Killer respecting that Protoss army, potentially unjustly, and deciding to just pop back go, Mecca up, potentially secure his own 3rd base.
I think that this move really displays that he is currently off racing as Terran and it's not his main race.
Yeah.
But potentially being really afraid of Jesus Colossi helping.
Because now there's Storm at this base. You know, the Templars don't quite have energy, but they're 1 energy recharge away from literally having like one of them. So you're going to have 2 Storms. Dark Shrine, just about to finish up. Likely, we could see some DT blink as a Nidus quite conveniently comes up onto my screen. Nidus, where I'm going up into the main base of that Protoss. Does catch it. Not sure if he's going to catch it in time. DTs are out. Nidus Worm does go up, but no units are inside that Nidus network.
And as Lucidium also did quite a nice move, killing Shizu's 5th base, doing that Nidus network bait, so to speak, just getting him out of position for it, and then slashing that 5th.
Decent storm there on the 4th base. Another really good storm there from Wirt. We've got Overseers in the back base. Really nice storms here, by the way. Oh my. This Terran army just getting absolutely cold at the pile by storms. We see the other Protoss army finding its way across towards the 5th base of Lucidium as a Nidus goes up in that back base of Shizu. Disruptors here just zoning away this army, forcing it to disengage. Not quite there, force fields. Okay, Lurkers are out and underneath this force somewhere. Lurker Imba. The Niduses don't actually have any units in them, just forcing warpins at home. It would be nice to potentially see, could see a Lurker come out of this Nidus. Bury, because there's no static D currently available in the main base of, in the main or the natural Shizu. DTs, that's a lot of supply, a lot of resources in just trying to sort out some Nidus worms. But maybe we'll see some value from that later on. Massive fight here in the middle of the map by the gold base of Lucidium. That Protoss army is really scary, but if it gets surrounded by this Terran, it might be a different story. In the main base, DTs have managed to warp in. Hydra Den gonna go down.
Kill had killed 5 alone. High Templar in the middle of the map.
No way, I can't believe I missed that. A really nice EMP on those High Templar, getting those storms away. Prism's still on the outside of the main base of Lucidium. Already up at Hive, getting those Lurker upgrades finished. Hydra then coming back, keeping those Hydras in position so they can catch this Warp Prism in case it comes back. Killer now aware of that 5th base of Wirt, so going to send his very Marauder heavy army on a little move out towards there. Protoss army is aware those DTs can slice across this army really quickly. Would be nice to see Wirt potentially go down to the bottom left and try and pinch this army. Just decides to essentially engage this army head on. Would have been nice to see a little bit of a movement towards and underneath this army. Still manages to catch the Terran army in the middle of the map and take a lot of these medevacs for free. Blink forward should really target the medevacs. Storm potentially. As our other Protoss army makes its way towards that gold base of Lucidium. Storm on the mines. Nice blink away from the mines here. Ravagers getting cleaned up at the 5th base of Shizu. Game kind of stabilizing down. Lots of action on this left hand side of the map though. Terran stimming into a storm, not what we want to see.
Ooh, Shizu is gonna collapse here on the
No?
This is very much of a 1v1 and a 1v1.
Yeah, 2 1v1s right now. Lurkers are in a really nice position to fall back onto from Lucidium.
There's a really fun part about this that they're none is supporting each other.
Yeah.
Really?
So, just playing.
We see Killa having the pressure on Verf, even though he takes very unfortunate storms. Probably not used to playing versus deck, considering he's a Protoss main himself. And High Templars are quite questionable versus Protoss if you get Ghost out, but that's not something Killa's looking to do.
There we go.
Killa's currently getting collapsed by both Verf and Shizu. Doing his best, actually doing quite a nice trade, so not taking out key units. Lucidium is currently moving out to Verf's 3rd base, once again trying to either do some retaliatory economic damage or just hold back, getting the Lurkers in a really stable position. Are about to get surrounded on a lot of all the sides to getting a full
no detection there.
So he managed to kill everything.
Disruptors don't land, no detection here. I don't think there's any detection. Oh, there is. There's one observer. Vipers in the mix now.
His entire army is getting wiped out by surround.
Wow.
Okay.
Really turning the game into their favor when it was looking really dangerous for them on the opposite side. See if
Vibrate
they can-
Blinding Clouds.
Pulling those immortals.
Yeah, feedback really going unused on these Vipers here. Really nice to see that feedback. Get those Vipers fed back. Lurker's going to try and collapse this army. This game really has been flipped on its head here. We thought once Killer lost his army that this game might be over for the players in the bottom left-hand corner. But this Lurker move out from Lucidium and a lot of mismanagement from Sizu here has really opened the door, especially now these Stalkers are about to get surrounded from both sides.
Shizu is trying his best to retaliate on Lucidium, adding a bunch of Dark Templars just melting two of Lucidium's bases. So there's a really back and forth. The Dark Templars are actually doing quite some damage on the Lurkers as well, knowing that Hydras, knowing that Hydras are quite expensive with 100 minerals and 50 gas.
Does anyone want to call this game yet? Anyone want to try and have a go? I think this is...
Stu has so many bases, but I think
Yeah.
he forgot to take all the gases on them.
Yeah, Wet is really struggling for eco. He's only 2 base at the moment. He's on 60, 73 supply. If I were to say if the team's going to take this game, I would say that it's likely going to be Killer and Lucidium that's going to take game 2, even another score.
There's
But
a big fight at the middle part of the map if you want to switch over to it. Oh, a lot of immortals just melting the Lurkers. But the Hydras are there to support it, and the Viper's gonna come here, it's gonna be blinding clouded, and the Summit is running in back to add the extra firepower that needed to clean
it's
up
about
all
50
the
supply
Lurkers.
there. Drops in the main base by Killer. Wet really struggling to clean up his marauders. Gets the full medevac. That's huge. As the Zealot Immortal army makes its way towards the gold base. That's a lot of Immortals. That's a lot of Immortals. That's 10 Immortals.
One really important thing to note about the Immortals specifically versus Zerg, that Hydras, they have one of the highest DPS in game, even versus unarmored units. So they are the only anti-armor that can deal with Zerglings and your Marines. What was it, on equal value? Just DPS wise.
Just too much Terran in this area. Forces the recoil on those Immortals.
Have you guys seen all the what's it called, robotics facilities? Which is
Yeah.
of them there.
Yeah, he has 8 robos. Nidus
8
goes up in the
total.
natural. Pulls the probes, sees it in time. These High Templars going to shoot their water balloons, are really going to make a massive difference. Bottom right hand base finally discovered by Killer, taken out by that Terran army. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, there's a few Lurkers getting chased down by a lot of Immortals, a lot of DTs. Going to need to seek this Terran army in for defense. Vipers really are making the difference here, though. Without the High Templar, Shizu's really going to struggle engaging these Vipers. Wet is going to join up with his team now, however. His High Templar are getting F2'd towards the main base, and Wet just doesn't have enough resources to warp in any units to deal with these Niduses. Lurker's going to go in, get the feeling this might be the nail in the coffin for our 2 Protoss players. Their supplies are rapidly dropping. Izu getting absolutely rinsed. All of his Immortals aren't going to do much against Marines, but there's no detection here, so the DTs are really rinsing.
The Immortals, good.
It's the DTs. The DTs
Ah, it's
absolutely
the
rinsed, yeah. He's still going to get cleaned up by the Zerg army though, and his Lurkers are eventually going to get cleaned up by these Protoss units. The unlucky for Zerg not to vary. Just decided to call in sick or anything of the equivalent. I don't know what the Zerg equivalent would be. And GG, makes sense. Really nice game 2 there. Absolutely brilliant game. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, it looks
it
scary
was-
for Killer there.
Yeah, it was scary, and then it wasn't.
It was really back and forth, where Killa was having quite the advantage versus Word, but Word clutching it with the storms. Killa not probably respecting or not used with the micro versus it.
Yeah. We got
Eating all the storms, killing his everything.
we've got
And Lucidium really having that, quite a large difficulty dealing with Jesus Protoss.
yeah. We've got a little support for Killer and Lucidium in the well, some support for the Protoss players from an unlikely ally in Turtle, leader of DeVoid clan, saying Lurker Imba in all caps. Not sure if I agree. We've got Frost, our French man. Heard he likes a baguette here and there. saying Killer Lucidium, really cheering for those guys. And Mr. Somalian man himself, Mr. Sandstorm Gaming. Speaking of natural talent, quite sure what he means about that. That game reminds me, like, have you guys ever played on chess on chess.com?
Yeah.
You know, when like you go in the game review and you look at like the graph where it's like when white and black is winning, and it's like literally like cliffs and like mountains. It goes bing, 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 like ping pong.
Yes.
That was that game right there. It was like massive blunder, like +6, and then -6, and then +9.
Dude, I hated seeing like massive blunder. It's like, what the heck?
That game was,
Everywhere.
and this is like everyone watching. You've played chess before. You played on chess.com. You know what we're talking about.
I used to stream on it, and I suck at chess. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun. And it's like blunder, blunder, blunder.
I'm gonna have to thanks for the time and opportunity to be a co-caster to Mr. Nelson and having a system here. I have to unfortunately leave. My girlfriend is going to bed, and I
Main quest. Main quest.
So thanks for the casting. See ya, guys. Good luck to everyone participating. Both the casters, which is Nelson and System that is casting at this.
Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Oscar.
See ya, guys. Good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Vamos.
We get the 20-pack of McNuggets, the legendary map.
Can you guess what the map maker DeVoid Zergsberg was eating whilst making this map?
Yeah, of course. Dude, I remember.
Oh, come on,
Was
can we
it
not
me-
say P is family friendly? Sorry, go on. It's okay.
Nah, there was like one time where in Sweden they had like the McDonald's. It was like so cheap with McNuggets. We bought like 100+ each McNugget, and we were trying to like eat all the nuggets. It cost like I don't know, maybe $10. No wait, how much? $1 for like 12 packs. I don't know. It was just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
The amount of yeah. And it was like after we ate it, we felt very, very bad. It was like, this is not normal. This is
Genuine
my heart
question.
is escaping. Yeah.
How many nuggets do you think you can get in one go?
It's so hard. I don't know. I do
I've done
like
40
nuggets.
before. I did 40.
Yeah, that's right.
Really
Yeah, I don't
interesting.
know. I looked at this map before the tournament, and I was like, how am I supposed to play on this map? Like
It's
the whole
really
middle
open,
area is just so much stuff. I don't know if you have to go air, because it's like kind of a big wall of like, it's hard to engage in that big gold area.
Yeah, it's like once you secure a base, it's pretty quite straightforward to hang on to it. Just waiting for Shazoo and Wafford to be ready. This map, for example, if we saw a lot of Protoss players in this map, which we might do, obviously we've got 2 Protosses on WAT and Systems team. Really decent unit composition on this map is Stalker Disruptor, just because of the mobility that you get with those Stalkers. Being very mobile on this map is something which we've seen in the past to be quite successful through various playtests. So the mobility on this map is quite nice. There's a lot of different angles that you can attack from. Be interesting to see if anyone uses that worker only path that goes to that in base, like gold base as well. We didn't see that in the game that I casted with the 4 Zergs in it earlier. Maybe we might see some use of that in this game today.
Yeah, like the pocket base with the gold.
Yeah, so there's a pocket base. When we get in game, I'll highlight that. But there's a pocket base next to, if you're in the spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, the right-hand player, there is a worker-only ramp that goes down to that pocket gold base. So
I
it'll be
feel like
interesting
it's
to see.
trapped. Because there's a destroyable rocks that kills all your gold minerals there, I think.
Yep.
So it will suck a lot. Like,
Yep.
it's not gonna be a fun day. He's like, oh, expand, and then you don't have any minerals there.
Great,
Because it's just
brilliant.
a 500 HP destruction.
Yeah.
Which you can
Couple of Zerglings. Guess I just lose then.
Yeah. But I think you need range, so yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't get to it now.
So we are looking at 1 and 1. We are 1 apiece for both teams. As usual, starting off in the bottom left-hand corner, playing with the red Terran pieces, we've got Killer, and his teammate is Lucidium, playing with the teal Zerg. In the top left-hand corner, with that beautiful Ehan reskin. In the blue, with the fat Carbot Marine eating his donut, which I wish I was eating a donut right now. We have this dwarf for what? And in the top right-hand corner as well, his teammate, playing with the pink Protoss probes. Very basic skin layout with that lovely DeVoid logo on the side of his Nexus. We have Shazoo. So as I mentioned on the way in, for those of you that have not seen this map before, which is probably a lot of you, this map was made by this man himself, our red Terran player, and it features an in-base gold base, so the natural is a gold base. This ramp here, highlighted by those blue minerals on the ramp, is a worker only path, so only workers can go down here, hence why you can't get any units down to this base unless you destroy this debris. This debris has 2000 HP, so taking this as a natural is a very risky move, just based off of the fact that if an oracle comes and flies in, you can't really, there's not a lot of units that you can have in here. You can potentially as a Zerg have a queen or a spore, but if you're a Protoss player, getting those stalkers in position is going to be very difficult. Another caveat to these gold bases is that you have these are destructible rock towers, and if these destructible rock towers are killed, so if they're destroyed, they will drop debris onto these minerals, and if the debris drops onto the minerals are destroyed and they can no longer be mined, so the minerals will disappear. This was a change last year, so around a year ago. The feature was added to where destructible rocks, they essentially they gave minerals health, and destructible rocks are the only thing is they can damage minerals health. So now destructible rocks falling on minerals can indeed destroy those mineral patches.
This is actually very OP. This is like a full mineral, like what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
It's
6,
16.
7, 8, 9 mineral patches on the gold.
Yep, this is
Which is
interesting. Yeah,
yeah. How's the income value right now? Holy smokes!
we got Turtle in the chat saying making the map. He probably put secret insta nuke your opponent thing on the map. So I'm guessing what he means is that he's Killer is put something cheeky and like yeah, drop a nuke on your opponent's base. Potentially. Really thanks for well, I'm really glad you guys are stopping by. Thank you for putting stuff in the chat. Turtle, thank you very much for firstly letting us into your lovely clan, and also making these events possible with all the work that you do behind the scenes on the server as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Turtle. If you guys want to check out DeVoid, you can get in contact with any of our members. More than happy. We're a community clan in StarCraft 2 based in Europe, but you don't have to be European. The main point of contact is Turtle. His Discord, I'm sure he's happy to put in the chat. I'm not sure if he wants me to dox his Discord straight away, but if he wants you to, I'm sure Demit will put it in the chat and I will repeat it. So I'm happy to give you his Discord. You can get in contact with Turtle. If you want to join, I'm more than happy for you to join. Play in a few team leagues. So if you're a player anywhere from sort of like, well, any MMR up to sort of GM level, we've got stuff for you. You can play with us, you can join, or you can just chill out. In the next couple of weeks, we have a Protoss Masterclass, which is co-hosted by Gamer Richie, which some of you guys might know. Some of you guys might know Gamer Richie. He's a coach for Berserker in the past. He's also coached a lot of players up to GM and a lot of players up to very solid levels in StarCraft. We've got Gamer Richie, and then we've also got CJ, or Carl Johnson, who is a former Protoss GM as well, who's offering both of their insight and offering that masterclass within the DeVoid server. This is public, but if you want to join the DeVoid server for that, you're more than welcome to. If you want to join the clan, get in contact with Turtle. if he wants me to, yeah, just pop the Discord server in the chat, so in the link inside the stream chat just now. If you want to join the server, feel free. You want to join the clan, want to play in some clan leagues, just get in touch. More than happy for you to join. And yeah, just wanted to reiterate my thanks for Turtle for setting up such a lovely community, allowing a lot of nice players to come in. Not much to talk about in this game, to be honest. Pretty standard so far. It's given me a little bit of time to yap about the event, about DeVoid and stuff. Looking at a +1, looks like a +1 Hydra Roach attack from Lucidia. I believe that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Making use of those gold minerals. Pretty standard 1-1-1-1 with Terran. So Vikings coming out potentially, and I'm guessing it's to shoot these Colossus down. Both Protoss going for charge, and then well, one Protoss going for charge. Quick Colossus from our wet. So I'm losing my trail of thought. Yeah, extended thermal lance, and then once this twilight finishes, from what I'm guessing we're gonna see some charge, maybe some blink. Just getting those Colossus out early, just in case there's some of that early marine aggression. Colossus range is also really useful, specifically against these Ravagers, because Colossus range keeps those Ravagers at distance, so they can't as easily get those bars off. Killer.
Oh, we got some action here on the right side here.
Oh,
Colossus goes down.
Oh. Already, that's quite big. That third base is probably going to die as well. Yeah, Biles, Carissa, Biles going down. That Shazoo's third base going down. They, well, Killers just scanned the gold base natural, found that there's no use of that gold base by our two Protoss players, which makes sense. It's very difficult as a Protoss player to defend it. I think once you get up to 3 bases, though, would be nice to see that gold base, because not that difficult with the amount of units that Wurt has right now to destroy those rocks. And as long as you can, I mean, you can also take, so for example, if we look at the 11 o'clock base, kind of lets you have that natural progression towards there. The only issue is that path around from that 11 o'clock base. Very long path round. Very long path round to the natural. So quite a risky move, but definitely could be worth it with these minerals, especially if we destroy these rocks towards the middle of the map. That can really close up the map and make your life a lot easier. The only drawback to that being that you obviously cannot mine those minerals in the future. DeVoid Team League is, yeah, it's a separate server, but feel free to join DeVoid, chill out, get in contact with Zistem and Draco, and if you're interested in playing in DeVoid Team League for DeVoid, feel free to join DeVoid community server, see if you like us, and if you're interested in playing, just give Draco, who's one of our admins, and Zistem, who is deputy team captain for DeVoid in our team league, just give them a shout, and I'm sure we can sort you out. Really interesting fight here.
Big battle here. Killer's army looking small. All the claws doing so much damage.
Yeah, it's a shame. He's got 5 Vikings here. It's just not. I mean, he's finally getting a Colossus down, but now the Stalkers are just going to destroy him. Would be nice to see Wurt potentially blinking on these medevacs. The theory behind that is if you blink on medevacs and kill them, the Terran is using their starports to make medevacs, and if you're making medevacs, you can't make Vikings. And that gives your Colossus a little bit more half-life in the game. So less Vikings the Terran has, the more likely you're... oh, this is going to be a really awkward choke. Not enough. There's just not enough splash here to deal with this though. Really nice bile, but there's just no splash from our Terran or Zerg. So potentially, if there was some siege tanks set up, then maybe we might have had a different outcome here. But looks like the Terran, the Protoss steamroller is going. Prism coming in. Hopefully this gets up and sieged. And, looks like this third game may go in favour of our 2 Protoss. But I say that, and then suddenly a round of roaches pop. Really nice Prism micro here, but struggling quite a lot. These Protoss players are forced to recall and do GG. Okay,
2 bases of Shazoo.
Yeah, they're 2 base. GG.
Yeah. like the reinforcements are it's so far away. Like, it's like you spot it in your base and try to like walk like on the other side of the map. It takes forever. Yeah, it's hard. So what's the score now? It's best of 5, right? So
2-1
2-1.
to Killer and Lucidium.
Yeah.
So match point and tournament point for Killer and Lucidium. A lot of important people. What do you mean by important people, Mr. Turtle? Make my own server. I'm quite happy to stick with the DeVoids. I'm a DeVoid
I think he
streamer.
meant our team league.
Team league. Yeah, got you. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't have the DeVoid logo on the screen, which is a shame. That really is a shame. So hopefully I still get some Void coins, but who knows. If you guys aren't aware, DeVoid runs a Void coin scheme where you can do various things, and you can exchange those acts. So for example, you'll get 3 Void coins for like a ladder win streak if you beat a streamer on stream. Then you get a certain amount of Void coins, and those can be exchanged for various things like coaching or for merch. DeVoid also does have its own merch as well, which is available for purchase, or if you earn enough Void coins you can also get that for free too. Yes, I am heavily selling DeVoid. I think it's a great clan. I feel really welcome here. Initially was part of Primal Esports, and then decided to migrate over to DeVoid because these guys are pretty chill. So yeah, more than happy for you guys to join. Very community driven clan. As we pop into the 4th game of this series, potentially the last game of the tournament. We'll see how this game plays out. Just gonna pop some music on for our interlude. So what map are we looking at last?
Did we play the Pringles? I think so, right?
Oh, I haven't played Pringles yet.
Okay.
I think that's the last map. Yeah, so Roskalion is our next map, and then if we need a 5th map, we're going to go into Pringles Hot Sour Cream, which is a brilliant map name.
It's like easy to remember.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of words, I don't know. A lot of words.
That's why everyone calls it the hot something. I thought it was gonna be the Pringles map, but
Yeah. Lovely. I am ready. Yes, go, 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 go. Let's get this 4th game underway, guys. Gonna make sure I put the score in the bottom right hand corner. If you enjoy the content, guys, if you're enjoying the cast, then feel free to drop a follow. You can, pretty sure you can turn notifications on so you can get notified when the show match between Killer and Draco goes ahead. I will also be casting a few team leagues here and there if I get the time. So if you want to see DeVoid's progress through the season, feel free to drop a follow and watch the streams whenever you can. Just loading into the 4th match out of 5, or potentially out of 5, in this series, as we see in the top left hand corner on Roskalion LE. We've got our red Terran and our teal Zerg, goes by the name of Killer and Lucidium respectively. And in the bottom right hand corner we've got our E. Henry, beautiful skin, you know the deal, with our lovely Carbot Marine. We've got Wert and his teammate, as I've introduced many times this tournament already, is the pink Protoss player, goes by the name of Shizu. Seeing 2 SCVs coming out on the map here. Ooh, okay. Potentially looking at some... We've seen this build... I was going to say some Marauders. We've seen a very similar build to this from Killer earlier in the tournament against Winty and Necron. Sorry, what was their name again? What was the team name?
Duraleth, but it's...
Duraleth and Necron. Yeah.
Yeah, Necron is his...
So 2
his
SCV. Wow, okay. This is brave.
Yes. He's
Very
walking
brave.
across the whole map. He's like, where should I put it? I don't know. Maybe here? No, this is Sunaga. Oh shit, maybe over here. Because I think he saw the other watchtower. He's like, oh no, can't put it here.
There we go. 2 barracks going down. Single gas. Now we're getting the 2nd gas. So we've got a Marine. I'm guessing there's going to be a tech lab And then there's going to be an orbital command as well. Decides to cancel the second gas. So Tech Lab. We're going to see Tech Lab, or we're going to see reactors. Not enough gas for reactors, so I'm guessing we're going to see Marine. Okay, so multi-proxy Marine. Looks like we're just going to see a full one base all in from both these players here. Reactor going down on these barracks. So yeah, it looks like some proxy Marines. As we see Lings popping across the map. Looks like there's already Zealot in the wall. Should be a pretty decent defense. Once these two are at the top. It's difficult though, because as Protoss players, when you're playing against Zerg and Terran, the whole point of Zerg, right, playing against, well, as a Protoss playing against Zerg, is to keep the Lings out, right? You build a wall, keep the Lings out, keep a really tight wall, and the advantage you have is that a lot of the early game units for the Zerg are, well, the Zergling is a melee unit, so you need to be able to hit you, you need to be able to get next to you. The issue that you have now is when you're playing against a Zerg and a Terran as two Protoss, you have these range units called Marines, you have these potential bunkers that can indeed swipe. Baning Bust coming through, by the way.
See the banings, yes. Can they
Concussive
wall it
Shell on Marauders. Oh, Caps the Adept for free. There's a battery here and a Stalker, so I don't think these are going to burst through just as easily. Potentially could destroy the middle building with the Banelings. Marauders are going to swipe away. There we go.
It's gonna be so hard, yeah.
It's going to be really difficult to burst. Marauders are going to go down. SCV not actually working on that bunker, which is a huge oversight. Yeah, there you go.
Dude, that Stalker. It's like, I'm fine.
You should get that Stalker like 7 kills, not 1. This is likely going to be a GG. Really nice hold from our two Protoss players. Ooh la la! Cross, how's it going, man? Ooh la la! How many baguettes you eating today, my friend?
Factory, så det kan vi märka här. Drones från Lucidium. But it's gonna be hard. You get that product's got like 2 bases. They're too happy.
Protoss can max out on 2 bases, and Arcanum or A move, game's over.
Yeah.
Both going with Robos. Likely, what do you think? Robo Bay or Mortars? Forge. No Twilight, so I don't think there's going to be charge loss in this. I think it probably is just going to be a Robo Bay from both players. That's my humble opinion.
Lucidium, do you have enough money to have Overlord speed?
Prism going down. An Observer. Robo Bay from Mr. Shizou. Makes sense. Gonna see +1 attack. Yeah, +1 attack from our Shizou as well. More Prism coming through. Interesting to see what potentially our blue Protoss players gonna do. Quite a late team pair in these two as well. The two Protoss players. They're probably one of our later teams to form towards the end of the preparation period for this tournament. Quite a last-minute pairing, but they seem to have made it done. You know, they seem to have done pretty decent work so far. As far as their teamwork has gone, I mean, they are 2-1 down, but they seem to be holding off a lot of builds. Seem to be gelling decently well together, and they made it all the way to these grand finals. Yes, they are one game away from losing in the finals, but making it here, being competitive, smashing some of the games. We could see them sneak a win out, especially with the state of this game. It's been really impressive to see these guys and Killer and Lucidium getting that teamwork together, preparing these builds, really putting on a show for all of us.
Ooh, are they stuck? Looks like Verse is stuck in his space.
He is, no blink as well.
Can I get out? It's like
Yeah,
like
the whole position, yeah. There we go. Interesting that
it's the overlay. Oh, you
Interesting.
did it. Cool.
Lucidium's decided to go for a further away third base. Potentially trying to sneak that in. by all means, feel free to make yourselves known. Make yourself known who you're cheering for. Let us know in the chat. Pretty sure there's some Somalian men around. Mr. George, Mr. Gerog, are you still around? Taro, what do you think? Who do you think is going to win this one? Frost, what do we think? Are you still a die-hard Killer Lucidium? How do you rate their chances in this game? What do we think, guys?
Sad Immortal trying to get out. Like, I cannot. Stupid.
That Immortal skin, I've got the Henry skin, and the Immortal skin looks absolutely beautiful with the Henry.
Yeah, it looks good. It's so dark. It's like pay to win.
Pay to win. Proros is Imba because of the E-Henry skin.
Yeah,
I love the mental gymnastics that like non-pros players have against with pros. It's brilliant. Alright, massive move. Oh wow, SCV pool. Okay, let's see this. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
Really similar supply here, to be fair. Not too much, not too much in it.
Here we go.
Drone pull as well, making use of all of that supply. This is a massive force. No splash damage here from any of the Protoss players. This can do a lot.
Oh, they have 2 Colossus, but they're like walled in, so they can't get their units.
Oh no! Oh no, the third base of Wurt is going to go down. The Colossus are indeed here. Let's see how much this tank and these Vikings can do.
There we go.
Let's see this fight. Oh, Bow's not quite landing. Colossus are saved. Tank sieging up. 2 tanks coming from the side. Let's see if the Colossus can kill the Marines. Really close fight, but I think the Protoss players are going to take this one. Especially if the Colossus start shooting. Yeah, it looks like our 2 Protoss players are going to take the win in the 4th match. So we go into a game 5, boys. We go into a game 5 on a very appropriately named map, 20 pack of McNuggets. Let's go.
It's Pringles now.
Is it? Oh, is it? Oh, it is Pringles. Yeah, it is Pringles. Pringles sour cream. Right. Last map really does go down to the wire. Who will win? Wow. In a way, I want Dizzy and Shizu to win.
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed. Yes, because they're one of your own. None of those prim GG foreigners, as you might say.
I want to see some cool strat that Killa know about the map. I was trying to like find like some abusive tank positions before the tournament. Because there was like some bugs on the Nuggets map that I said to Killa.
GG.
Because there was like a fence that you could like pass through. I was like, is this supposed to be here? Oh, no.
Nope. Where the overlord
like,
pin is.
the pocket, the 9 mineral patch gold base. It was like you can just walk through it. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
The Grand Finale.
The final game of the tournament. This has been a great tournament, by the way. We have been going for 7. We've been going for 5.5 hours. Been here, casting all the games, bringing you all of the good action. It's the last game we're gonna get. Hopefully it's a banger. Hopefully they don't make it a 4-minute washout. I'm hoping for a decent 20-minute plus game here. This will be great. I am tired, but I also do like to cast some long games for you. Had a really great time, and just wanted to thank you all for coming along. A lot of you here, a lot of you new to my channel. Pretty nice to get at least a sort of average of about 10 or 11 people here, which is really good. Feel free to drop a follow. We've got some show matches coming up, Killer versus Draco. We could also potentially in the worst and maybe a 1v1 tournament. We'll have to talk to Mr. Turtle, talk to Mr. Killer, see if we can get a 1v1 tournament going for DeVoid, potentially using our own map pool. So me and Killer are both map makers, so we have got 9 maps between us that we can indeed put in a map pool. But we'll see as it's going forward. Got that masterclass coming up, but right now, focus on this last game. In the bottom left-hand corner, for the final time this tournament, we have the Red Terran, goes by the name of Killer. In the bottom right-hand corner, his teammate, Playing with the teal Zerg pieces, we have Lucidium. And for the final time this match, our double Protoss, final time this tournament, double Protoss, Shazoo in the purple, in the pink, and we've got White or Dizzy Dwarf with that lovely Ehan Ree, with the lovely Marine, with that blue Protoss pieces. Wonder what we're going to see this match.
Boo.
Already quite a late hatchery here for... Okay, so we're going to go pool first. We're seeing a pool first from Lucidium. Anything, any comments on that, Mr. System?
Who first? I don't know, it's very far away. Like,
Yep.
rush distance.
There's also...
There's like 2 pathway inside, so it's very hard to like wall off.
Yeah.
It's actually 2 people.
Yeah, and these rocks as well.
Yeah.
Give you that third pathway. Very
There's a
interesting.
forge coming up, so he's gonna cannon up and circle up. Very good on this map, I think.
Yeah,
You get like
100%.
a third base also.
You do. Until those rocks go down, you're pretty damn good, yeah. Guess we do a little bit, well, we got a bit of downtime. Do a little bit of a tour of this map. Well, we've seen this map a couple of times already this tournament, but for the final time, these ramps marked by blue minerals. These are worker only paths. So as it says in the name, only workers can travel down these paths. This allows the player that spawns where Shazoo is to get a nice, quick and easy path down to their third base. There's also a worker only path from this base down to a linear 4th base as well. This map also features some gold bases, so those golden minerals, they mine at a faster rate. So they provide a significant economical advantage for players that are able to secure these bases. The only drawback is that these towers are called collapsible rock towers. And if you destroy them, they drop what we call rocks. So destructible rocks, they will drop and they will fall down. These rocks, if they land on the minerals, which they will, if these rock towers are destroyed, minerals will be destroyed. So if minerals have rocks land on them, the minerals will be destroyed and can no longer be used by any player in the game. This can present a pretty interesting situation if the game goes into those later stages, because you obviously want to stop your opponent from mining, but you also want to try and stop your player from you also want to try and stop the opponent from mining as well. But if you stop the opponent from mining, you stop yourself from mining, so those minerals are no longer available for you. So it does encourage a little bit of strategical thinking, a little bit of interesting gameplay. We'll see if we get to that stage. Looks like the players are setting up pretty nicely. We're going, it's a double, okay, plus, so it looks like Lucidium is going for a +1 missile with roaches, which is similar to what he's been doing for the whole of this series. Getting his spores down a little bit later than usual, but not a big issue considering that both Protoss players historically haven't gone for that quick Stargate. So those that timing on the spores isn't that too important. Terran taking that third base. Quite an early third base. Looks like a 3cc build. Very early, yeah. Thinks he can get away with it because he's locked in with these Zerg rocks here. Pretty protected. So yeah, probably thinks he can get away with it.
Our allies are being
Yeah,
attacked.
because we've been seeing like Shuso being very greedy of going the economic route, getting the third base lot of. So
Yeah.
he's usually like a 20 like workers ahead, almost always, and then
Yep.
going to the robotics bay.
Yeah, you can just like quick
Power
colossus. But now we've got 3 orbitals at, we're going to have 3 orbitals at the 5-minute mark, and that's 3 mules. Like, that's a lot of income. I'm wondering, so I mentioned this the last game, potentially it was a game before, about the early sentry. And like, so what I thought this was you sometimes see this in PvT, where you'll see a player open up Stalker Sentry. The reason why, especially since a new patch, if you go Stalker Sentry and then a Blind Battery, the reason why you see that is because of that energy recharge, you can get a really quick Phoenix Scout. but we don't see any of that used by the player of, we didn't see this used by SC2, and hopefully we can get him in after the game, potentially ask him a few questions about his choice of build and the choice of the sentry, because I'm a little bit confused as to why he's using that sentry. Is it just because he gets it early so he can gather energy on it, potentially for force fields for all-ins, or is it the scouting? Honestly, I'm not too sure which one it is.
I feel like it's for scouting purposes.
Yeah.
Verd is not doing that.
There we go. Yeah, it's the
And they're
hallucinated oracles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just went a bit. I've been streaming for 5.5 hours. Wow. Oh my.
Yeah, I don't know how the StarCraft 2 gamers, the streamers, like actually stream for 8 hours, like every day.
Like how they
See,
play.
like-
I don't know how they play.
No, but like stream and play for like 8 hours, because you can't like take breaks. You can maybe take a little break. But it's like 8. It's almost
Yeah.
like 8 hours straight.
Right,
there.
Turtle, can you just ban Raki really quickly?
Yeah.
The score, sorry, Mr. Winter, it is 2-2. 2-2. I'm just updating the scores now. Just updating the
Grand
scores.
finale.
It is the final game of the final match of the tournament. It's going down to the wire. Yep, 2-2. There you go, Mr. Winter Graphics. I have updated the scores literally as they cut the as those text messages came through. So there you go. 2-2, best of 5. Do apologise. A lot of things to do at once when you're casting, but you're also trying to find what the action that's going on as well.
Got glaive adepts here, right? Yeah.
These glaives?
From Vert.
Yep,
Yeah.
they are indeed. Not doing too much. I guess he's waiting for these Grots to pop, potentially.
Yeah, maybe.
The only issue is that there is a Terran army here waiting. Medevac drop, top right hand corner. Killer just waiting with those Marines. Stalkers are in position, but no units in position at third just yet. But the Colossus will swipe these quite
Must
comfortably.
have seen it, because they have the Salnaga tower, so they probably saw all those adepts. The killer knows where to stand.
I'm guessing these adepts, the glaives, is just for the Marines potentially. I mean, we're going to see additional
Look
barracks
at
go
them.
down for our
Nidus.
Terran player. No. It's a bit of a supply block. 2-2. Would be nice to see a Ghost Academy going down as well with that 2-2. Slight move out from our blue Protoss, from both our Protoss players here. Trying to catch that Zerg player out of position. Very equal supplies right now. It just depends on the quality of the fight these guys take as to who's going to pop out on top. Zerg really needs to be careful he's not fighting two Protoss armies at once. Might get a massive pincer here. It's going to be a massive fight. This could decide our match. Not the fight that the Terran wants to take.
Killer's out of position. He doesn't know where to come, like which position to go.
Yeah, the hesitation
from the
might
back
cost them the match here. Lucidium's still ahead of supply, however, but the Marines are getting rinsed. Archons are really doing work here, but one Colossus has gone down. Can the Colossus get cleaned up? Still very even supplies here. Looks like these Protoss units get the third base. They do get the third base, but it looks like all these Protoss units are going to have to recall. Not quite. I do not know which way this is going. This is going to be really tight. Both supplies are really even. Roach is just trickling in here. If this Colossus dies, okay, never mind. I believe this series is going to go in the way of SC2 and well
Every base.
GG.
GG.
Well, that's the tournament all wrapped up.
Nice.
So thank you very much, Mr. System, for joining and casting a few games alongside me. Thank you very much to Killer for organising this tournament, getting all the games sorted, and making sure that everything runs semi-smoothly. Do apologise for the delay on the start, and the tournament did run pretty long. We've been here for 5.5 hours, quite a long time. But even still, was a really fun event to get into. Congratulations to SC2 and Wert. They get the grand prize of Street Cred.
Yeah, there's actually a prize.
Is there? There's a
Uh,
prize pool? No way. What is the prize pool?
No, it is. Keeler's gonna make a 3D model, like a 3D printed model.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. And some void
Flexing
coins.
his 3D printer and some
Yeah,
void
yeah, yeah.
coins. Lovely. Right, this has been a long stream, but wow. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Stay tuned. There will be a show match. So there will be a show match between Killer and Draco very soon. Very high level Pluralist versus gameplay. Games are probably going to go the distance, so you don't want to miss them. Feel free to check out the DeVoid clan. So in the chat somewhere, I believe Turtle, the leader of the clan, has linked in the Discord server. What I'll do is I'll pop this into the chat just for now. I'm going to pop this into my bio once I figure out how to do that, because I'm still quite a baby streamer, so you guys should be able to see that at some point soon. If you're interested in the Void, feel free to join. Apart from that, really nice games today. Final stand-ins, we have our first place goes to Shazoo and Dizzy Dwarf.